Okie dokie. Howdy doody. Hello, scholars. We have Nimby, Aunt Lee, and Lay tuning in. Hi. I want to do a quick audio check with everyone. Are we good in terms of audio? Thank you. Yes, I decided to dress up and celebrate, you know, some of the topics that we're going to be talking about. I believe deserves a nice little celebration of sorts. Hi King, welcome in. How is everyone? I'm really glad to see y'all. It's good. Okay, we have some background music playing. I was actually trying to figure that out last minute. I was like, wait, why is there... I was testing all the things. I want to be completely transparent because of a lot of hiccups and life and me just being human and being the potato pigeon that I am. I don't have everything that I want to have displayed for like this presentation. So there won't be as much like visual engagement, but there will be a lot of information, and maybe I don't have to cram everything all into like a presentation, and you know, maybe we can just breathe a little and kind of process some talking points instead of, you know, in my head I'm thinking, oh, we're gonna talk about like 20-30 things, that's gonna be great, but instead maybe I could just kind of space it out. I do want to say that part of check-in, and you know, feel free to share with me how your week has been going, how your month has been going, how your you know, any goals that you've been working on, how that's been going for you in terms of health, in terms of you know, personal goals, creative goals. It's a lot of different aspects of, you know, existing that makes us who we are, and I just want to take a moment to honor that and thank you for being here. It really does mean a lot to me, knowing that, you know, the community is showing up, willing to keep an open mind, maybe learn something, maybe I'm reinforcing something, you know, you learned somewhere in your life, in your education, or in your journey. To me, it's very exciting. As some of you guys know, I've never been really good with certain topics or subjects. Even I struggle with big words. So for this, I am really, I guess you could say, being vulnerable and trying something really new, and also trying to create a space that can honor different perspectives and really foster learning. So that's just kind of a freestyle of my check-in. I want to check in with some of the folks who feel comfortable sharing about their day, about their week, about their month. You know, there's a lot going on. Sometimes there's not much going on. It really depends how you see it, right? It depends on what your focus is. It depends on what your intention is. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and read. Your month has been good. That's great. We like a good month. You know, that's awesome. Okay, yes, there's still some issues. I do remember there was a storm, you know, up yonder in that region of the United States, and like that North American bit there. Yeah, I forgot. There's like at least I wanted to say 5 states that were affected. There could have been more, there could have been less, but yeah. Yeah, hi, welcome in. Hi, Panda. Let's see. You're still doing well. I'm really glad. I'm very happy when people can report in and say they're doing well. I'm also really glad to, you know, create space for when things are difficult. And just know that when things are difficult, I might not have the answer, but it's very important that we find solutions, you know, and we can brainstorm. I can give a little bit. I do wish there could be more that could be done for problem solving, but due to kind of the agenda today specifically, we'll have to kind of honor that, keep that, you know, in our forefront and not let that escape, and eventually find a solution in time. But you're exploring your identity has been really fun and fulfilling. That, I love that. I have, for me, that's very relatable. I believe it or not, it's still an ongoing process. Identity should adapt, should change, should be flexible, right? Like I've seen some older people who are still really like, wow, their curiosity to learn and hear you know, young people's experiences as well as share their wisdom and experience is just so amazing, right? Especially when you see like really older people, like grandparents or something, like older generation learning technology, even something like a flip phone or smartphone. It's kind of, it's very humbling. It's because you have to like think in that, it's a very different perspective. If you've ever had to like tutor a person who's not tech savvy, and I mean, for a while I thought I was tech savvy myself, but then it got to a point, like I think it was like after the iPad, like after things start to get like exponentially like in a just like I think, yeah, after that I was like, whoa, there's a lot going on here. And like curriculum, school, what's available, resources. I know in like other countries they have programs for elementary school students to start learning like the building blocks of coding, right? Like, and I started learning that maybe on my own, just like, you know, tinkering around, maybe in like high school, right? That was like my first real exposure. But obviously, you know, programming and all that and technology has been around, you know, for a very, very long time. It's just the exposure and the resources to kind of to get into that field or that subject matter. So if you have like crayons, it's easy to just pick up a crayon and doodle. If you have like paint, you just, you know, splatter some paint on some paper, and you know, there you painted your first painting. But you know, how often, you know, can a person who you know, well, maybe now it's more accessible because, you know, computers. So it's a different time. It's a different time. We have to really understand that like analog, we have shifted. We are in digital, and that's the thing. It's exponential. So once we get to this point, it's gonna be a fast and bumpy ride. But okay, so it's been 2 weeks without water. That is wild. That is wild to me. You're getting decent at Blender. Okay, that's so cool. Are you okay, just making sure. Blender, is that the program where you build 3D models? Because I like I said, I like to like tinker and like learn things. There's a really good channel. I mean, you might have heard of it. Blender Guru. It's so funny. The other day we were talking about gurus and otakus, and I was like, otaku is basically a guru. But Blender Guru is awesome. I love his channel. Super cool guy. When I was following his channel, you know, he's kind of like changed his appearance. He has like a beard, and you know, and then now like he's married and has this, you know, kids and family. It's so wholesome. The very first thing that I learned in Blender was really to make a 3D donut using Blender Guru's tutorial. So never too late to learn. Really good to exercise a new skill. A lot of problem solving. If you're like me who used to really like puzzles and like those kind of like, yeah, like mysteries and figuring out things and following instructions and guides, yeah, that was really fun. I do wish I continued. I think for me it's like it's a patience thing, and it's also kind of like I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I got up to like I made the donut, I made the icing, and I think I made like the sprinkles. I think I colored the donut and the icing, but I didn't color the individual sprinkles, and that's about as far as I got with that tutorial for Blender. So that's really cool. Awesome. Yeah, it's freeing to explore for sure. New skills, new hobbies, new talents, new interests, you know, trying new fashions. Maybe sometime last year I was experimenting with my fashion, trying to like get rid of some old clothes that were still good, you know, donating it to, or like giving it out to, I don't know, Salvation Army or some place that's going to probably repurpose it, or, you know, I do wish that they don't resell it. They could just like give it to like low-income families or like was it foster care or something. But I don't know, maybe I just have to donate directly to those facilities. But anyways, yeah, so experimenting. Woo. Antley has been feeling really supported. Okay. Yay. Yeah, that's great. It's really important to feel supported in a digital community, an actual community, a sense of community. And that's actually something I think I didn't appreciate until maybe after college. I was like, I feel kind of like I need to anchor myself, and I, haha, I'm here. I've created my own home, my own domain. You are in my domain expansion. Fashion is certainly something, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that's always been an ongoing thing, fashion, and expressing yourself in a way that represents, there's a lot of fun things that can go into that. Yeah, so cool. That's a really good check-in. If anyone else wants to share and check in and talk about what's some highlights and lowlights, right, good things and maybe some things we're still working on. I've definitely mellowed out. I don't know what it is. I have a suspicion. I think it's the weather. Do you remember, y'all remember like a few weeks ago, before the actual snowstorm that hit like that part of the United States, like several states got affected by that blizzard or that snowstorm, ice storm, whatever you want to call it. I was literally like, oh guys, like it's cold, and I'm not even in that like area, but like it's cold. Today is one of those days. I'm gonna call it. I think there's a science to it. I think it does have to do with atmospheric pressure, but it was windy. It was so windy today. It was a polar vortex. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, weather. I'm still waiting for like more research to be done on how like weather affects a person. I know like for older people, like if you have arthritis or you're sensitive to cold or temperatures, definitely the drop in atmospheric pressure will make those bones and joints really achy. You might feel a little bit like more tired than usual. That's me right now. I don't have arthritis, but I think I'm getting the old. When I was younger, I didn't have this as much, right? Like I was really just like, plowing through it. But I don't know. I just noticed, I was like, why do I feel so tired? Like I'm hydrated. I got some food. I'm good. And then I just heard like this gush of wind blowing by my window, and I was just like, oh my god, it has to be the weather. It has to be the wind. Like this wind is just crazy. It's cold. It's like it's roaring, likey. I mean, good thing it's not a headache, but I think it does affect us in small ways. Some maybe not so much. Depends. But anyways, that is my suspicion as to why I'm kind of meh. But I've also been kind of meh. But that's okay. You made a couple very supportive friends. Yeah. Ooh, we like support. We like new connections. Yeah. It's really interesting. Noticing the shifts in our bodies, right? Being aware how news, how media, how interactions make us feel, and really tapping into that. I've been doing a lot of work ever since like last Wednesday when I had to call out sick and I couldn't show up for you guys. I was like, I need to get a handle. Like this, nah, I can't do this. No, I need to get a handle. I don't, I feel death is upon me. I was like, no. So I did a lot of deep breathing. I told you guys I spent like 30 minutes meditating, which I very rarely do. I did a lot of I did some stretching, right? I reached out to my chiropractor, which I have an appointment coming up soon. Let her know that like, hey, these are all the things that are bothering me. I know you're only dealing with like the bones and the muscles and the body, but we had a really good conversation, my chiropractor and I, and she acknowledges that it's very likely that a lot of trauma and even emotions can be trapped in the body, right? It's not like a science, it's not like a hard science, and every body is literally different, right? So I thought that was encouraging me to like express to her like, hey, these are some new stressors that I'm dealing with this month moving forward. It's probably gonna affect and show up somewhere in my body. my last session with her was superb. I mentioned to you guys I had some, like, you know, muscle tension in my neck and upper shoulder, and that's just been very that's been addressed significantly. Of course, with ongoing stress, the stress and whatever is being redistributed constantly, so it's a constant maintenance. I always like to tell you guys, like, maintenance, right? How do we maintain equilibrium when we get thrown off off the horse or whatnot? Yeah, thank you. Who get their joints achy from atmospheric pressure? Cool. Yeah, so not the only one. Cool. That is always good to acknowledge. It's like these little things, right? Like I think people get really like they'll say, oh, it's nothing, and you know, they dismiss it, or they'll like make some reason like, oh, it's probably nothing, and I don't know, maybe it's something. You know, you gotta really kind of listen to your body and tune in. So that was a nice little spiel. I actually took notes as to how I wanted to start this, but I'm just kind of freestyling right now. That was a really good check-in. Yes, feel it in our bones, deep in our soul, if we have any. But so I want to go ahead and follow up with kind of my notes to the best of my ability. And yeah, so let me see. Basically what I was gonna do is I was just kind of gonna set a foundation, kind of set a tone, make sure everyone's on the same page. If new people join in, you know, we'll have a little bit of like recap. But for those of you guys who are new or just joined recently, hello and welcome to the community. Welcome to the scholastics. I don't know, the scholars. I call my viewers scholars because it is my hope, it is my prayer that I can meet and speak with individuals who value knowledge, wisdom, and also compassion, right? EQ. I like EQ. We like EQ. I'm probably too EQ. I need to be more IQ, whatever that means. No. Okay, we're already getting started with the comments. Okay. It's really important I get this ball rolling. We are 18-20 minutes into this, and it was a good check-in though. Very nice, everyone. So once again, hi, I'm Poette. I'm an interdimensional bookstore owner, and you know, I think I'm gravitating towards topics related to wellness, mental health awareness, generally like holistic health advocacy, whether that's, you know, making some ginger honey tea for yourself to help, whether it's, you know, stretching, going out for a walk, doing more analog things, picking up a new hobby like painting, crafts, pottery, boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, you know, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, or any martial arts, like, you know, go to a gym, sign up for something cool like that, you know, something fun. As you guys know, currently I'm mainly streaming every Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then depending on where you are in the world, different time zone, time slot. So I am expanding my wellness content into developing more personal values. This is kind of what I'm going for with this, with celebrating, you know, Black History Month, and hopefully in May, AAPI, which stands for Asian American Pacific Islander. Sorry, Islander. Where is pronunciation? And I will kind of would like to continue, you know, navigating and learning to and promoting and encouraging setting healthy and firm boundaries for yourself, myself, ourselves when we navigate interpersonal relationships, relations, and interactions with others, whether that's in real life, digitally. Of course, the digital space is literally I don't know, the best word I can come up with is like the Wild West, right? It's a free-for-all is what I'm trying to say. There are no rules, and the rules that are set are weird, so it doesn't have to be that way, but I can't change anything. I am just only setting the tone for this part of the web space and doing my best there. Yeah, I do wish that like laws could catch up with some of the technology it's just very free-for-all right now. It is and it isn't. Like, it is a free-for-all because there's a lot of, like, I'm just gonna say it's a lot of corruption, but whatever, going on with technology and government and business and private sectors and blah, blah, blah. That's another topic, right? I can't even pinpoint anything on that, but that is kind of the gist. So as of late, I guess the word is I'm emboldened to speak up about some of my own personal values and beliefs, with the hope that, you know, with my courage of speaking out, it will inspire some hope for others in this, what I like to call a very chaotic time. I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of this is what I mean when there's a lot of things going on that will affect you, us individually at some point, maybe not like right this instant, but right, everything just trickles down and eventually makes its way into like our neighborhood, in our you know, if you're going to school and you're a young person and you come from a low-income family and you want to go to college, and maybe the financial aid is not available because your particular field of study is not considered professional or whatever, right? Like, depending on which direction we go in this course of things, these little things that can affect people and us, you know, prices, we've already seen like tariffs, increasing consumption. And anyways, not to be a downer, I know you guys want to like escape from all the horrors of reality and into the digital space, which is not any better in some places, but you know, yeah, it's very easy to escape into some form, right, of entertainment or another topic to distract ourselves, and it gets dangerous, actually. I'm learning, and you know, not knowing how to handle the challenges we face in our life and in our relationships, and you know, with our friends, family, our social groups, our community, or lack thereof, it's gonna affect us all collectively in the long run. So hoping to kind of like create a space where we can talk about, navigate, learn skills, you know, move forward in a way that's like, okay, we're not gonna completely avoid it, but we might not be able to address it 1000% right head on, but we're like getting there, right? That's part of like healing, learning, unconditioning, and all that kind of like unlearning the bad, like the bias and the negative and toxic and harmful social conditioning that's just exists because it has been taught and passed down, right? And so if you can recognize that and say, wait a minute, I think I can do something different. I don't have to be like this, or I can get help, I can cope differently, I don't have to resort to addiction or cheap, quote unquote cheap dopamine from, you know, things. It's really hard. I'm with you guys. Like, the doom scrolling, very real. The hits of dopamine from like instant gratification of like, oh haha teehee, so funny, and yeah, no, it's very real. It's hijacking our entire body and nervous system, and that's something that I'm learning, is that I can't let some of these stressors like hijack my nervous system the same way, you know, a drug or an addiction or an addictive pattern could hijack your life. So anyways, so yeah, this whole putting myself out here on the internet with you guys, it's very much a process for myself as well as for anyone who, you know, needs some sort of anchor in their life as well. Hopefully this space and the scholars in the community can be a sort of anchor between entertainment and having a space to express your ideas, or, you know, interact with the gray area and navigate the dialectic. Lots of big words, right? Yeah, it's not easy. It's not gonna be easy, definitely. Lots of unhealed wounds, lots of hatred, resentment, lots of like, you know, as you guys know, like misogyny, toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, right? And a lot of like corruption, a lot of like just trauma, unhealed wounds. Recently I actually learned something. I hope I pronounced it correctly. paraphilic disorders. That's actually very much mental health. And it's funny because like months ago I was like, I came across it. I was like, oh, whoa, right? Like I was like, whoa. And when I was telling you guys about like, you know, true crime and stuff. But all right, we're slowly getting there. Don't worry. This is part of my introduction. This is just part of the groundwork that I'm laying for everyone, trying to keep to the tone, the vibes, the energy. So, you know, matching, all of that. So guidelines for today, you know, so at least I did my part and I said what I needed to say regarding this. So it's not like, oh, Poe, you never said that we couldn't be like, I don't know, X, Y, and Z. Is like, oh, well, actually, you missed that part. If you go back to the stream, I did talk about it. I did my best to cover all of the rules, all of the etiquettes, all of the things. So yeah, the purpose of today is we're going to try to make it educational as best as we can. So it is very possible that you may feel uncomfortable. Yes, bro, sis, whoever you are, you know, non-binary friends, it's gonna be uncomfortable. It could be, and maybe not, maybe not. What? Oh my god, you completely missed the part. You missed everything. What? That was like the one thing. You had one job. You didn't need to do anything else, just one thing. That's all you needed to do was not be... That's so funny, actually. What a joker. But yeah, so new information. I'm like, what's it called? I filtered it. There's like a lot more. I know last stream I talked about like, all right, you guys, you do the work. Thomas Thistlewood, mic drop. You do the work. That's it. Uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. When I learned about that person and the history and the diaries and the situations, I'm like, this is madness. Like this was just like right in front of us, you know, like, oh my god. Because that's just not right. That's just not right. Oh my god, yeah, okay, wow. I just got a flashback of like news again that I learned, like where words come from and like, yeah, okay, we might circle back to that. It's a bit harsh, it's a bit much, but yeah, so is it gonna be uncomfortable? Maybe. It depends on who you are, it depends on like your disposition, it depends on your current stance, right? Like obviously a person who doesn't even, you know, like this topic is gonna be like really frustrated with me, and anyone who like agrees with this stance or this, you know, the promotion of like equality of anyone who's a bipedal or has a spinal cord, a brain, and like a nervous system and like organs in their body. Like, oh my god. We can't even treat animals correctly with the cruelty that happens in mistreatment of animals. Like, you know, I guess it's, you know, not, it's kind of crazy. Oh my god, y'all are gonna have to be my eyes because I am all over the place. I have 1, 2, 3, I have like 4 things I'm looking at, and I'm trying to like stay focused and keep with my brain. So hopefully nobody does that. What a true troll, like ultimate troll. Okay, that's funny as it is, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. It's like they did that on purpose. Like you can't, there's no accident there. But anyways, we'll keep an eye on it, right? Like I said, you're gonna have to be my eyes, and I'll do my best to like follow up ASAP. I think I can, yeah, I can remove things. Okay, I can just do that here. I think I can do that. We're good. What? No, oh my god, ew. I see it now. Oh my god, that's so gross. Ew. I see it now. What the heck? No, that person has come into my stream before. I'm so disappointed, bruh. I'm so disappointed. Actually, though, I'm actually hella disappointed. Yo, that's so dumb. No, that's crazy because that person has come into my stream before. Oh, that's so weird. Weird. I'm so sorry I didn't catch it. I can't see your guys' icons. Maybe I need to like change that so I can see everyone's icons. Oh my god. Crazy. No, we're good. It's just, I might have to like ban and block this person? I don't know. That is weird because I remember this person. I remember this person. For sure, for sure. Okay. Slow and steady, guys. Slow and steady. We got this. So yeah. Yeah, so the nature of learning something new, it's gonna disrupt our current view and like our perception and understanding of the world, and even ourselves and our relationships with others. That's gonna be the risk of being informed, educated, quote unquote woke, whatever. Yeah, there's been some content circulating around like, oh, you know, you also need to, you know, kind of like, you need to take this like the whole, how do I say this? Okay, how do I want to, what are the words that I'm trying to say? What is Poe trying to say? The first thing that comes to mind is like, have you guys heard the stories of like fathers deleting their children because of like differences in like ideas and political, like, I guess it is political stance. Yeah, pretty crazy. So yeah, it's gonna shake your, it can shake your foundation quite a bit. So that's why I think a lot of people tread carefully, because they're like, oh, I don't want to lose like my network, I don't want to lose like my resources, I don't want to lose my like friend group or my family, oh my god. But like, I don't know, man, if yeah. So learning something new is not easy. There's a lot of risks, and I think for the vast majority of my existence, I haven't even dabbled in this. So again, once again, this is why it's kind of a big deal for me to like try to like talk about this, create a space for it. So yeah, appreciate everyone's support and understanding. But yes, it may be uncomfortable because of what I just explained. Like it can shake your foundation, and it's up to you to navigate how you want to go about, you know, honoring that or not. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I think I do a lot of sanitizing. I know I do. I filter it. I really do. I'm trying to make it like approachable, because it's a lot. Because, you know, it is for sure. Yes, the fact that we have to like, the fact that I feel that I need to like, you know, tread on eggshells is also not, it's like it's not a good thing. But you know, for various reasons, good thing I'm independent. Like, good thing I'm like an indie, right? Like I have no you know, opinions are all my own, you know. And at the same time, I'm just being more of like a messenger, as opposed to saying like, oh, this is the right way. I'm just saying like, hey, this is happening. This is a perspective. What do we all think? You know, I maybe have my own ideas, maybe share some, maybe not, kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, the intention is to share information and knowledge but you know, we can understand, we can all accept that the impact is different from intention, right? I think that's really key in this type of discussion or stage or platform, that you might have the best intentions to save your own ego and perception of being a good person, but at the end of the day, what is your impact, right? What did you cause other people to feel, and etc, etc. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I did a lot of research for this. I really trying to do this justice as best as possible. Yeah, no, for sure. No, I get it. A lot of people are like, stay in your lane, entertainment only, go back to the kitchen. Ah, okay. I guess they've never been on like, what is it, Hell's Kitchen, Gordon Ramsay. I don't know. Maybe I can be like the Gordon Ramsay of VTubing. I can be a chef. Do something a little different. Now people are already doing that. It's already expanding and mutating and growing, and you know, I think it's just how you approach it. It depends on the person. It depends on a lot of other things, because yeah, if you're tied to like a company, blah blah blah, all of those things. Yes, we're gonna do this right. I pray. I am a little underprepared, so we're gonna only go so far with this anyway, so it's fine. You know, I guess it just worked out that way. Yeah, take that and take one of these. Throws a spatula and gonk, hits somebody upside the head. Oops. I do like my pots and pans though. I do like my pans, you know? Yeah. Best weapon against zombies. But yeah, So yeah, new ideas. Oh my gosh, different ideas, new perspectives, new voices, and narratives to consider, right? So far so good. We're not ruffling any feathers yet. If not, I got an iron pan. What's up? What's potato? 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 Oh, it's a pot. Oh, because it's pot. I like that. So yeah, I'm gonna just say it. I do think it's important to hear and learn from, you know, different people's perspectives, especially like a Black person's perspective and experience as told from their perspective, as opposed to getting like a weird filtered version of what happened, which is really weird because we see it a lot in language. And this is getting into a lot of like, I'm like tiptoeing around the topic of like news and it's kind of propaganda. Something that like came up is like how language is used to frame certain individuals, right? Like, for example, they'll like in the news, there was like a kid many years ago. He was in the, you know, not a affluent neighborhood, but he was coming home with like a Skittles, and he just got into crossfire of like pew pews, and you know, poor kid just like gets, you know, hurt, injured severely, and it's terrible. And right, and it's just this kid with Skittles, and but like the news reported, you know, it's like it's a, you know, it's a man, he was a thug, you know. So like these labels, the language we use, and like literally he's just like this kid, like it could be like you or me at that age, coming home, maybe not living in like the best of places, you know, and then we're just, you know, yeah, it's really sad. So language is really important. I am aware of it. It's subliminal. Spelling. It's like, it's almost like they're casting a spell on you with words. So, but yeah, so I'm slowly starting to awaken and see like, oh, language and news and, you know, how propaganda can find itself into even education systems, right? Like public versus private, underfunded versus like funded in a certain specific way for different resources and different things. Is it sinister? Can it be sinister? Am I trying to, you know, stop myself from getting jaded? Sure, of course. And, you know, once you see it, it's really hard to like ignore it for me anyways. Like I can't just like unknow something. Like, I mean, I guess I can know something, and then if I want to like uncondition and unlearn that behavior or mindset, that's the work. But like I can't just like not know something that I know. Weird. Like if I know, I should be aware, but without being like really like jaded or sinister about it. Like, oh my god, everything is propaganda. Like, yeah, to some extent, like even marketing and advertisement, it is, right? They're playing on a lot of different elements of your consumer behavior, of your interests, of maybe even your insecurities too. So let's just be real. It doesn't have to be sinister. Just call it what it is, right? I will just skip this little bit of that I wanted to talk about here and keep going. So yeah, there will be a few clips. I don't have a whole bunch of clips. That I want to share a bunch of clips, but like I'm being super perfectionist going on right now, where I want to like get the consent of the content creators and be able to curate the clips with their permission and consent and acknowledgement, for, you know, in case they feel uncomfortable, like, oh, I don't want to be associated with VTubers. That's weird, right? Like, so I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. That's fair. I think that's valid. So there was one content creator, is super cool, super awesome. I will show his clip. He gave me the thumbs up. He gave me like the go ahead. You can show my clip. You can give me a shout out, that kind of thing. So hopefully he's still cool about it. He was really awesome. He was like the only person who replied back. So wow. Yeah, I know, right? You VTubers. Yeah, never know. Yeah. Critical thinking is a skill, and like when you don't have the education or the environment that like develops that, it's difficult, right? It's very difficult. You have to get you kind of have to like learn something. So like when you're stuck in an environment and this is all you know, how do you learn something different than what you know? You know, you have to kind of be exposed to something different, come to the conclusion yourself, get inspired but from something else, right? That kind of thing. So just we're still laying down the groundwork for the tone and the vibes of today's conversation or brief discussion and presentation. So I'll just move on and ask the question that many people are probably asking themselves. But before I do that, got to have the intrinsic motivation too. True, yeah. Also, yeah, hi Scylla, welcome. So good to see you. Thanks so much for being here and tuning in. I did want to do a quick check-in with you, Scylla. How was the driver's test and everything? We good? You got your license? Yeah, no? You're not gonna accidentally go Grand Theft Auto now and just all over the place. Nearly all human evil is rooted in cognitive. That is really cool, actually. That is a perspective. Human evil is rooted in cognitive laziness. Huh. That is one perspective that I can accept that. I think there's more to it. Trina, I think there is more to it, but I do like this aspect, like this one little piece that fits into this puzzle of like, where does like, what creates a moral compass? Like where does that begin? How does that form? How is it shaped? And where does it get lost, you know? Very interesting. I guess, you know, what's really interesting, if you think about a compass, it's always supposed to be facing north because of the, is it the magnetic field of the earth, right? Because like the north and the south. And so, okay, this is like an analogy, but like if someone, like a corrupt person, holds like a magnet of some kind to disrupt that natural, you know, the compass's function to like, you know, point you in north, and they put like a magnet or some kind of thing that like makes the compass kind of like jitter or like go in a completely different direction that's not north, you know, it's that's kind of interesting, right? Like you get this like influence. And but yeah, cognitive laziness. Oof. I'm gonna be so for real. I think I'm sensing it. I'm not sure I like the word laziness anymore. I'm not disputing, like, I just want to be so for real though. I like the cognitive part. I'm not sure if laziness is a good word. I'll put a pin on that. I'm gonna just put a pin on that. I wanna sit with that for a little bit. But I did like that that idea that was there. Yes, same. That's what I was thinking too. Actually, oh my god, my hands. But no, actually, that's kind of why I wanted to put a pause on that. You know what I mean? Like, I like where you're going. Like, you know, where's the root? You know, it's about like cultivating your own sense of like cognitive awareness. I could say like lack of self-awareness, lack of like empathy, one brain cell. But yeah, no, that's because sometimes I beat myself up with the word laziness, and it's also very much rooted laziness. This is actually on brand for today's topic, laziness, because that has been thrown around a lot. And maybe in the past it works, like it makes sense, but if you think about it, if you live in a society and construct that's like all about productivity, you have to be making something, you have to be contributing, you have to like be doing something, be effective, then it's like, when do we rest? When can we be quote unquote lazy? Or like, what happens when, for whatever reason, we can't fulfill the demands of productivity, right? Because the opposite of laziness is productivity. So we have to kind of like challenge that narrative of like, oh, laziness. So then what's self-care? What is taking care of yourself? What if like you have one day off and literally all you do is sleep in all day, get some food, rest, and like maybe read a book? Is that lazy, or is that care for your body? Yeah, different perspectives. Lazy is more about philosophical sense, for sure. Oh, okay, so not virtue or weighing this short and long term. Okay, got you. Yeah, no, for sure. Still really important. I think I get the nuance. I totally get the nuance that Trina's trying to lay down. I get it as like effort. You're saying effort, kind of. I think this is an interesting topic actually, because in mental health, what can look like laziness to some people is actually like a form of care. Me having also been really hard on myself, like really, really hard on myself when I feel like I'm not producing results, when I'm not giving myself the space and time to recover, heal, process information. I just need to like actually, did you know research says that like when you space out, that's actually okay. Actually, spacing out is okay. Spacing out doesn't mean like there's nothing in your brain. It's like your brain is processing and it needs that time to like load and process. Yeah. I will be completely real with you guys. There are days where I'm learning. I really am learning to like let myself rest. There is a whole topic on this that gets into like the culture of productivity and the culture and mindset of the grind, where you have to hustle, the hustle life, right? And you know, and if you're not hustling, you're not contributing to society, and therefore you are lazy or you know, or a slacker or something, right? There is a delicacy, like there's like a delicate balance, and totally understand. So we got to find the balance and being graceful when we need rest and we're not being productive. And maybe that looks like laziness to some people, but we have to kind of just like shed that. We have to like shed, you know, we have to renew, we have to redefine and move forward. So very interesting topic to bring up. Again, not easy to talk about because we want to be understood, but we should also honor that there is weight with words. Always there's weight. There's history, there's stigma, there's connotations, whether it's negative, positive, or neutral. There's intention of like, oh, I mean it this way, means different things. And historically, there's like definitions for it. And then it's also about context and how it makes you particularly feel, you know, being called one thing that you have reclaimed versus being called something and you don't reclaim that. You're like, no, that needs to be dead and buried. Like, nah, don't bring that up. That should not even be. That's like a curse. you're casting a curse with these words. But yeah. Yeah. You know what's really funny? Before the stream, I was looking for a book and I found it on my shelf. Haha, Poe has a book. I read a bit of it. This was like from college. It's called Semiotics. It's by Daniel Chandler. And let me just type it in for you in case anyone is curious. Semiotics by Semiotics, The Basics by Daniel Chandler. And it's about language, words, symbols even. So it's like we all agree that if we say a cat, we mean like this four-legged creature specific to the feline, you know, thing. And like species, sorry, I said thing, species, and with a, you know, tail, different variations. But when we say a cat, in our brain we think cat, right? And then in this book, about making meaning through words, signs, symbols, right? Through written language and everything. The idea is that we all agree, culturally, internationally, across borders, we might have a different word to say the same thing, to identify one thing, but we all know, we can all agree that like there is a word to describe that particular symbol, that particular icon, the cat or apple or banana or, you know, whatever, microphone or you know, book. So if we agree that suddenly a cat is not a cat and we call a cat like a fish, then that's an agreement. That is a social agreement. That's language, that's culture, that's symbols, that's understanding and navigating that. So has to be like a common understanding. And if there's not a common understanding, then you know, that's unfortunate. There's a lot of problems there. But yeah, so this was really interesting. If you really like brain, like cognitive, like very like, not really, it's kind of philosophical. It breaks down like language at bare bones. Like symbols, icons, and language. It's really interesting. I feel like I should review this just for my own sake. I really like this book. I really like the class that made me get this book. Honestly, it was a really good class. So me with a book? Poe? Book? Huh, weird. Is it though? Didn't know you like books. I know, right? Like, who would have thought? Impossible. But no, I as you guys know, I have a bit of this weird tendency. I need to work on it. I read books, but I have a hard time finishing it. So I'm eventually gonna break that curse. I'm gonna finish books, I swear, someday, somehow. How we change terms from memory stick to thumb drive. Yeah, and that's really interesting. Yes, even through technology, through objects, like physical objects of representing like the changes of symbols, and then it affects our language. Absolutely. New words being formed, right? Like trends and like all those like things and it having meaning or not. Oh boy, 1984. What that book? Oh, that book. Yo, oh my God. You guys want to talk about ESP really quick? Like extrasensory, like, you know, like psychic abilities. Yeah. Telling the future. Y'all brought that book up so many times, like how many? It's been like a year or two. It's been like many months, like many times, like long time ago, many moons is what I'm trying to say. Many moons ago, I was attempting to read 1984, and by George Orwell, and then funny enough, that book is like apparently super relevant, like and I'm like, oh. Especially with technology, just really quick sidestep. It's oh my God. And I low-key am regretting, like, why didn't I just read it? Why didn't I just read it? But then I'm like, no, there was a part of me that was like, oh no, that's the devil. Hiss. I'm trying to make a cross with my fingers, like, no. But me avoiding doesn't like change the fact that, you know, like it's a very reality. It's a possible reality. Yes, it never has. And see, when you guys talk about escapism, that is me escaping. That is like me avoiding. Me not like reading 1984 when I started it with you guys. I'm still on page like what, 30? That is, I take responsibility for that. I should have read it when I had the chance, and it's never too late. I can go back and read it. That's not the problem. It's just that was a part of me that was like, this is terrifying. I expressed it then, and I'm expressing it now. And it's so funny because like I think I posted it somewhere. I was like, when I found a quote and it was quoting George Orwell, I was like, yo, it's relevant. It's in my face. Like, it's in my face. Animal Farm. What is Animal Farm? It's a book. Let's check it out. Oh, okay. Oh, I might have heard of this. It's also by George Orwell. Okay. Huh. I'm like, I need to just get over it. I need to like kick myself into high gear and just read George Orwell because I feel like there's so much there. Soviet politics. Oh, okay. I thought it was about the food industry for some reason. I thought it was like, but it's like a dystopian novella. Okay. Interesting. I'm really bad at a lot of like politics and like things, but I'm like slowly kind of like figuring it out for what it is and not really choosing a side. I'm just like seeing the whole thing for what it is. I'm like, that's okay. You know, like from a very like, I'm like an alien that just crash landed on planet Earth and I'm getting the download like, oh. Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. I appreciate that you guys are in the know because I need to be in the know. Okay, so that was the tangent. We're coming back to the main trajectory, I guess is what I want to call it. So the question I was going to ask, answer actually is, why Black History Month, Poette? Why? But why? Why? You didn't do it last year, and yeah, there's a lot of reasons I didn't do it last year, and I don't know, just I'm going with the flow. I'm going with the vibes. Okay, I'm listening to the universe, the higher order. No, I don't know. This is not some Illuminati shenanigans. Don't worry. No, I'm just following the flow. I'm just kind of like listening, aligning with my values, with what feels right to me, hoping and praying that it aligns and connects with someone out there, such as yourself, fellow scholars. It's always really nice to know that, you know, there's folks within my community that can see this perspective. You might have your own perspective, right? But I think the purpose is to learn and grow and see new information and understand it collectively and like you know, because I think a lot of the times what happens is I'm in a vacuum. I get all this information, I'm watching all of these reels or shorts that are very informative and really, really high impact, like condensed information, and I'm processing it by myself. So it's just kind of interesting to kind of like share it with a community that, you know, feels safe and like maybe we'll get it and like, you know, like, hey, how does this affect you? And creating that space to have dialogue and exchange. And but yeah, so what inspired me to do this? I feel like, hopefully this is to inspire some hope. Obviously awareness, because, you know, like if you're from a different country, which some of you are, some of you are not, some of you are in the United States and are seeing it in real time, maybe your education system has already told you this, maybe it hasn't. I certainly learned I have not learned this at all. This is news to me, and it's actually very exciting because I'm just like, mind is blown, because I'm like, whoa, okay, this was all happening, like, I guess as they say, in your backyard, right? And there's probably a lot of reasons as to why, maybe culturally significant or personality or, you know, again, education and environment, that has prevented me from really tapping into this knowledge or being invested. But that is what it is, right? Can't go back and throw a history book at my younger self and say, why did you learn this? You know, same with the 1984. I couldn't force myself to learn it because I wasn't ready. I couldn't accept it, right? I wasn't ready for George Orwell. I'm slowly building the courage that is my goal. Maybe that is my goal. That is my mission. I just need to read one of George Orwell's books, or at least finish a book, right? And then I will finally defeat my curse of being a morbid Sudoku, which is like a person who collects books and doesn't really read them. But I don't know, it has something to do with like anti-library, you know, like you're trying to like, there's like this whole idea of like, oh, if you collect the books, there's this like wonder and like, you know, curiosity and humility of like constantly knowing, or like learning, and something to know and grow and learn from. So yeah, no, it do be kinda, I'd be sensing some sadness in there, some not so good vibes, but it's like so real though. Like, I'm not gonna avoid it any more than I should, but I just need time. I was telling you guys, I was trying to read Tommy Orange's book. It was like the or a Wandering Star. Sorry, I don't have the book with me. Give me a second. Tommy Orange Wandering Stars. I think it's just Wandering Stars. Okay, yeah, it's a novel. Sorry, I thought it was The Wandering Stars. No, it's just Wandering Stars. That was savage. First page, I barely finished the prologue without having to put the book down because I was just so broken from reading that. I was like, oh my god, holy cow. Recently broke the curse of picking up a small book. Oh, I've heard so many good things about Little Prince, and I can't believe we're taking Black History Month and talking about awesome books, but so real. This is so real. Poette coded. Fahrenheit 451. I have heard about Fahrenheit 451 as well. These are books that have been mentioned. Okay. Slowly, bear with me. We're gonna tackle these one day, someday. That is my hope. That is my dream. Okay, so going back, why Black History Month? Why are you doing this, Poette? Why? Why are you doing this? I honestly, kind of what sparked this was a lot of content. Funny enough, I was watching a content creator, and for Black History Month, as a Black content creator, she was curating Black authors and like novels and like autobiographies, everything of just like, you know. And so I was like, cool, very cool, very cool. And one of the books, I haven't tapped into it yet. I'm procrastinating. It's a lot. It's a mental thing for me. It's, what was it? 1619. Hold on. It's Project 1619. Is it? Yeah, this one. Yeah. Early entertainments. Yeah, for sure. That is what I'm thinking too. All these dates and numbers and moments of like trying to, you know, pin down a historic moment in time, a shift. So what? Big think books. Okay. Hey, no, we don't judge here, okay? I've had my fair share of trashy romance novels and, you know, comics. No hate. The illustration, the artistry, the production of comics and manga, manhwa, right? All these still valid. But yeah, like actually a book, like words and everything, it's, yeah, you really have to like, you end up kind of like using your mind's eye to like visualize the experience, the characters, the world. It's like a lot of brain power. But yeah. So yeah, one of the books that got recommended, and actually no, who is it? His name was Kson4K is his handle. Also recommended 1619. So I had like two places like telling me like, oh, check out 1619, Black History Month. 1619 is where it all started. I'm like, okay, yeah. Funny, yeah, no, it's a thing now. You know what's really weird? The 67 or 67 like meme is actually really refreshing. I don't know if there's like bad, weird innuendo with it, but like it's just, for me, it's a little refreshing, and I could talk about it another time. So to me it's kind of interesting. But so yeah, so what started this all? Again, a little bit of doom scrolling, right? I'm working on the doom scrolling, but so much information, guys. Content creators are so good. I love it. And it's not AI, it's like real people, as far as I know. God, I hope they're real people. They seem like real people. Not really into the AI content. Yeah, it's like fast information, but like I don't get like that. At least if I'm looking at a person, I'm like, oh hey, at least I'm like getting their emotion. There's like life. there's life. It's not like Siri. It's like talking to Siri. I'm kind of like bored. I'm like, you are so dead inside. I feel dead inside because I'm mirroring your energy, and it's like making me feel dead inside. So a long time ago, I did talk to like those little AI chat things, like long time ago. Like you try to hatch an egg by talking to it. And then I never hatched the egg because I'm like so dead inside from talking to it. I was like, I feel dead inside. I don't know how else to describe the feeling. It's like, it's like, okay, yeah, you're friendly, but now it's just weird because it's like, it's like you're programmed. This is actually superficial. So I'm like, huh, whatever. It's like customer service to myself. I'm like customer servicing to myself. I was like, this is weird. Like, I don't, you know, this is different. It is meaningless, by the way. Okay, good. No, it's interesting that the meme, the 67, is meaningless, because actually that in itself is refreshing, and I can talk about that, but not today. Just not today, but that is a thing. Yeah, the AI visuals are like really weird. At first it's like, oh, this is so pretty, but then when you like sit with it, it's like I lose a sense of reality. It's so weird. And crazy enough, there was this research that kind of like supported my weird feeling. I couldn't pinpoint it, but there was like a girl who was like interacting with AI, and like she kind of like lost her mind. Like she started like not, like she was losing touch with reality. And she has like no prior like symptoms of anything. It's just the use. So a lot of research needs to be done on this new technology, and there's like no policy regulation on it. It's just a free-for-all. So anyways, technology. So going back, content creators, really awesome people, Black content creators out here sharing the truth, sharing their wisdom, sharing their knowledge, putting it out there. I learned about a pretty cool person in history named Edmund Albius. Yeah? Edmund Albius. And I talked about this very briefly in another stream. And I don't know, guys. I did not know this. There's just so many little things. So like, I feel like if you're a chef, this is just maybe this is just me imposing or superimposing, but like if you're a chef, I feel like it would be really cool if there's like, maybe there is and I don't know, but if you go to like culinary school, like do they make you understand the origins and where everything comes from, like the spices, the history, the cultivation, like where these plants come from, how they, because like vanilla, the plant, was innovated by like a young boy named Albius, right? They do, okay. In home ec class, like they never told me anything. Straight up, I don't want to say anything racy right now, but like or anything that's gonna get me in trouble, but I just, straight up, y'all, I'm ignorant. Until I learned about this, I'm like, this is kind of cool because it just like breaks and shatters my understanding of things. Yeah, learning about Black innovators, inventors, and like how they, you know, discovered or worked on the discovery of said invention and innovation. And it's like a group project, and then like there's like one person who does the most work, but then like another person gets the credit. Ugh, I always hated that. Brief education on various items, foods and spices. Okay, yeah. Oh, great. Yeah, American education, right? So, yeah. That's why I'm doing my part, being accountable for my own education and learning, right? So maybe you already knew this. I didn't. So here we go. Blood bank, gas mask, street lamps, so many. Yeah! Oh my god. Okay, yes, and yes. So earlier this morning, I went to the bookstore. Or no, not bookstore. It was a library. Sorry, I don't know why I said bookstore. I'm the bookstore. I'm the bookstore. I went to a library, and they were again also celebrating African American and Black inventors and Black excellence. And I picked up a little bookmark, and I was so excited because it talks about like it's like a list of people who like are Black inventors, innovators. And like, I'm like sitting here like, what the heck? This is really cool. I bookstore. That is really cool, King. That is really cool. Ooh, I did not know that. That is fun. Fun. So for example, and I just got this bookmark literally like this morning, so I was like scrambling to figure out like, how do I include this? I guess I'll just have to verbally talk about it, hence why there's not the pretty visual. I'm gonna just tangent really quick, and then I'm gonna go into like the actual like bulk of like what I wanted to share with you guys. And forgive me, names are always my weakness. Big words are also my weakness. I acknowledge this. I'm gonna do my best anyways. But Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett is a vaccine scientist, and I believe she has a patent for the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine of 2020. And she's like this pretty cool, like Black scientist, obviously, right? Like vaccine scientist. And there's another woman, Dr. Patricia Bath. Okay, this is another word that I don't know, but it's ophthalmologist and laser scientist from 1988. Hold on, let me write this in case you guys are curious. Kizzmekia Corbett, vaccine scientist. Got to shout out surgery and x-ray. Yeah, really, I like just right now blowing my mind. Like, this is how I felt when I like learned some of these things. I'm like, does everyone know this? Like am I the only one who didn't know this? Like, what? Like, and I just thought it was like, it's one of those things, like, it's like I have to tell someone, like, does everyone know this and I just don't know this? Because like that's also very possible as well. There's a Dr. Patricia Bath who is ophthalmologist and laser scientist. That was 1988. Then there's Percy Levon Julian. I can't pronounce these things, but it's like, okay, I can't words. I'm gonna just bite my tongue off at this point. But it was a treat. It was to treat glaucoma. Words. Not even gonna try this. Probably I could never go to medical school. Like, I'm sorry, like for any like Asian parents or who are hoping for their child to go to med school, that was never gonna be me. Treat. So yeah, that word. Ben Carson, the brain surgeon. Oh, there's a brain surgeon. Yeah, very cool, very cool. I gotta do that thing where I have to check that everyone's profile isn't cursed. Their avatar or profile picture isn't cursed. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool like folks out there. The dustpan. The invention of the dustpan, 1897, Lloyd P. Ray. Benjamin Banneker, first American wooden clock, first pocket watch, wow, calculations for the eclipse, yeah, refrigerator truck. I think someone did mention the refrigerator or some other household appliance earlier. Gas furnace, Alice H. Parker. Home video security camera, okay. Adjustable sanitary belt. Like the what is it, the carts for babies, the little carrier is a go. Let's go. Did not know, y'all. I did not know this. It's just inspiring. It's just fine. It's just nice to see like diversity. It's like, yeah, that's so cool. I don't know, it's yeah, I don't know, it's just inspiring to me. I don't know. I mean, like, okay, you could argue like, oh, well, there's bad people too, like across the board, like across the globe, right? Like, that's not what we're celebrating. We're celebrating good stuff, good people, awesome stuff, innovations, things like that. So, okay, so that was like a little bit of a tangent, but still on topic, right? Inventions and all these things from Black innovators that I just never, no one ever told me these things. There's a content creator, she makes, she recreates old recipes, yeah, from different time periods, yeah, which is really interesting, like pies, all these things, and I'm like, whoa, very cool. And also gives a little bit of a knowledge drop of like the history and like the people of the time, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Again, not sure if they particularly care to be associated with a quote-unquote VTuber, so I don't know. Maybe they're like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that crowd. So I don't know. I don't know how it works. Okay, so where do I want to go with this? Sorry. Okay, I have a slideshow. With the slideshow, I am gonna kind of scoot over. I'm gonna do some shifting around, like, wee, gonna move myself over yonder. I'm gonna change a few things because I do want to talk about the vanilla innovation by Albius. All right, so we're gonna bam, and I kind of wanted to change the background, but I think this background is really cute as well. But how do we feel about this one? Are we okay with this background? It kind of like highlights the image a little bit better, was what I was thinking. I like the plaid, the check, what is it? It is plaid. Also, another random information knowledge drop. The plaid design, I think that was like designed or invented, I think in India. If I'm not mistaken or misremembering. Like, that just blew my mind. Captured in 4K HD. What? Yeah. So I don't know if that, like, let me just whoop-de-doo. Y'all are over here. Maybe I can scoot over yonder here, maybe. No, I'll just be over here. Nah, I'm here still. Make this look a little bit nicer. Merp. Okay. So this, we have, ladies and gentlemen and non-binary and my queer allies and such, is supposedly a photo of Edmund Albius. Not gonna lie, was not expecting, because like they said a young boy, so I don't know if this is like what date this is, like what age this photo was taken. Like, was he 12? Was he 16? Was he in his 20s, early 20s, late 20s? I don't know, but supposedly this is our genius vanilla innovator. So let me, okay, so I have a few things. Haha. This is an illustration of how he's depicted, which is probably when he's much older, I'm assuming, like much older, like, I don't know, like gotta be 30s, 40s, maybe like 50, you know, like when he's older. Personally, I think the photo was more charming than the illustration, but you know, we're not all artists, but that's okay. So that was like a illustration or portrait that was illustrated of him, and it's in French. I can't really read it here very well, but it's like, it's French saying innovateur de la something vanilla in French. So I found this cute little infograph, if you will, and it really just summarizes you know, like a too long did it read summary of Albius's story. Is the illustration dated? Let me check. That is a good question. Let me, I want to check now. Is the illustration, let me check the illustration. It's so blurry. Oh my god. Something 63. Wait, let me Google it. I have it on Google somewhere. I am curious. That is a good point. I'll look it up really quick. It was Edmund Albius. The illustration. Oh, is it this one? Okay. Oh, it's even blurry on this thing. Album de la Réunion, the colony of France somewhere on that island. I can't tell if it looks like an 1863. Let me go back to the, so like underneath, like above his name at the bottom, like above his name, it's supposed to, I think it's 1863 question mark. I don't know if that makes sense with his timeline. Now I have to do like a big fact check. Hold on, I want to fact check. He lived around 1829 to 1880. So if this was 1863, yeah, that is within his like lifespan and towards the later part of his lifespan. So yeah, as kind of inferred or educated guess, yeah, this is a depiction of him when he was much older. He passed away in August of 1880. So if this illustration is of him in 1863, let's see. Shoot, I can't math. That's about what, like roughly more or less 20 years before he died. Like, I don't know, give or take, but I'm eyeballing it. Any number geniuses can probably calculate, you know, maybe if he was born in 1829, actually, you know, maybe you don't have to be a genius. Maybe we don't have to be a genius for this. Okay. If that illustration is 1863 minus 1829, possibly this image depicts him when he's 34, in his like early mid 30s year old. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Whereas the photo, I'm not sure. This photo of him does not have a date, and it's in a photo, whereas this is more of an illustration. So, you know, lots of stylization can, I feel like, misconstrue obvious, you know, appearances, but it is what it is. Okay, so I don't know if you guys got a chance to read this. I thought it was really interesting. But basically, it goes in 1841. Actually, let me think. He was born in 1820. Hold on. Now I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm curious. So it's 1841, and he was born in 1829. Yeah, this was when he was 12. Yeah, straight up. So when he was 12, I believe his history is his mother died due to like complications with her health, with childbirth. I don't know, whatever. You know, they didn't have the medical or technology to help her through that. And then he never knew his dad, and so I guess he was an orphan, and he was kind of, you know, given to like a person to take care of him, and then the person was like an agricultural botanist, horticulturist, like a person who studies and works with plants and agricultures and stuff. And I guess he kind of like taught Albus the trade, and so Albus kind of like picked it up and, like, you know, helped out, and and so I guess there was like a, you know, like a plantation owner, you know, European, took plants from Mexico, or stole, however you want to frame the narrative, right? They snatched some vanilla plants from the Mexican land, and they were hoping to profit and grow it in their own soil. Yeah, a lot of history there. And so the funny thing is, right, is that the environment in which a plant, because if you like take a plant and you put it in like it's in an unnatural environment, like a place that it just doesn't normally grow or typically grow, then there's going to be some complications, and that was the case. So the vanilla plants that were taken from Mexico and trying to be grown in the island of Reunion, and a French island or whatever at the time, it wasn't pollinating. It didn't have the environment, it didn't have the ecosystem, it didn't have literally the bees that pollinate these flowers. And so I think what the story is that Edmund learned from his at the time caretaker, or slave owner, whatever you want to call it. I think I'm being too generous calling him a caretaker, but it kind of was. Guardian, caretaker, slave owner. Taught him how to like pollinate a different plant. It was either like a pumpkin or some other like plant. And basically what Edmund did, or Albius did was he just applied the same he just applied the same technique to the vanilla plants, and then it just worked. Yeah, because there was like a journal entry documenting this, right? So caretaker. I mean, there's some responsibility, I would suppose, you know, feeding, shelter. Yeah, that's probably too lenient. Different time, different labels. Does that mean your boss / employer is also a slave? Okay, so never mind. You know, I'm not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. But sorry, that was terrible. Why, Poe? Why do you do this to yourself? Why must you do this? Kinda. Thank you for humoring me, Scylla. Oh man, I'm just gonna take a sip of tea really quick. I made some honey and citron tea for myself so that I could stay a bit hydrated. Boy, oh boy. So yeah, Albius solved this problem. And it was really simple. I think some people say he used a blade of grass. Other people said he used like a little branch, or like something like a toothpick to kind of like prick open the plant and then like manually pollinate it so that it would produce, you know, the fruit or whatever. And yeah, there was a journal entry about how he did that, and I read it, and the language was very, very of its time. And then like later in his life, right, Albius was trying to like, you know, move on and live his life, and there were people who were like doubting him, saying, oh, there's no way that he could have done this, and that's not true, and I was there and I did it, I invented this, I did it with my plants and crops, and he stole my idea, and then, you know, like I was the one who told him, and then, you know, the journal entry, you know, documenting this moment says, well, you know, that can't be true, because like, why would you tell a 12-year-old boy how to do it, and why would you tell us instead, like if that were the case? So yes, many such cases, absolutely. So, but it got resolved and he got his credit in a way. Well, you know, it was at least documented. But the heartbreaking thing is that he never really like profited significantly as much as he should have, obviously. If anything, like I think he got into trouble. I forgot from what situation, but they helped him out, and so he didn't have to like go to jail or get prosecuted or, you know, in any way. I forgot what the incident was, but yeah, just more to look into. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but sometimes I have like this very I have like a fascination with autobiographies and like people, but I slowly kind of like stopped because I didn't want it to be like too obsessive. For example, a few people that I was like really interested in, and I looked into their biography, like, you know, where they went to school, what they studied, you know, kind of like their backstory, how they got to their success. One of them was like Joanne Germanotta, also known as Lady Gaga. Another person that I was like really kind of curious about to learn their story was like Malcolm X. This was back in high school, and then I dropped it. Like I didn't, you know, get like too obsessed with it. Another person was I think it was Martin Luther King at some point. Jackie Chan, of course, because that was, you know, he's an actor, and some other like actors here and there, right? Like their struggles and how they made it into like the industry that they're in, stuff like that. So sometimes I guess it's showing that I do have like a curiosity of like, wow, you know, what's your story? You know, how did you you know, navigate this time, you know, in this industry or this particular case? So yeah. Anyways, maybe that side of me is showing in my interest of this. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It was heartbreaking, and in more recent times when she came out about like the abuse and you know, sexual harassment, and like and then like, and you see her, you know, being Lady Gaga, the mother monster that she is, you know, it's difficult to like wrap your head around that, but I can totally believe it, which is really sad. But like, she still, you know, powered through, made a name for herself, you know, summoned a community of little monsters are her fan, right? I really thought her music and her like style was really interesting. It was before the meat dress. I was that theater, like really shy theater kid in high school that would be like blasting Lady Gaga after school with like, you know, one other person, and you know, it was really fun. Theater is always a really nice environment, usually to kind of explore characters and kind of get out of your own head and shyness, but it can be kind of, it has its own politics as well. You know, not everywhere is free from its own politics, but I never had any problems per se. Trying to think. Yeah. But yeah, she was also in theater, and it was really cool to see her like transform, develop a persona, develop a brand, develop a style, an aesthetic. Yeah, her biography is really interesting, dabbling in the New York scene, party, and as we all know, things go on in such spaces, but somehow she survived, and, you know, just I know. Lots of experiences there. Yeah, I'm sitting with that. I'm trying to like think like, why did I bring that up? But anyways, back to the main point. All right, where am I? Oh yeah, and so I thought this was cool. There's a book by Ann Richards, apparently, an illustration dedicated to Edmund Albius. I want to check something really quick. Vanilla by Ann Richards. Please, please, please don't down. No, don't bring me down. I want to know. Sorry, this might be kind of weird. I just don't know who the author is of this book, but I thought it was kind of interesting. I without thinking, I was like, oh, there's a book about this. I just kind of like slapped it onto the presentation without really thinking much. The illustrator is Arden Taylor. Oh, but I can't find too much on them right now, so I will do that in my own time. I will do that in my own time. Okay. Anyways, okay, so we're going so slow. I think the next bit we're gonna do the classics. We're gonna do some of the classics. So, like, base level American education is we learn the classics. So I don't know. I'm just gonna call it the classics, like Martin Luther King Jr. Sometimes Malcolm X. Sometimes he's brought up. Sometimes he's not. Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, right? And there's obviously more. But these are the ones that like have always been really big in terms of like what I remember. There's always, you know, so that's why it's really refreshing to see like other innovators, other, you know, Black stories that were never brought up to me in school when talking about different events. So, I am going to do the thing where, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and share something with you guys. It's a video, really quick. Yeah. And I'm in the United States and I still, but I can't like compare my American education. It's sad, but so really quick, I'm just gonna give me 1 second. Dr. Martin Luther King, I believe. Yeah, okay, so this was a video that I thought was really interesting. Tuskegee Airmen. Oh, that sounds really familiar. Gonna be completely honest. That sounds very, very, very familiar. But the fact that it just didn't stick to my brain is also really sad. Okay, so I found this video, and then I had permission from this content creator who was very kind, very awesome. Gave me the like, yeah, go ahead. You can talk about my content and show it, and I can give you a shout out. So yeah, he's really cool. So much of his content is so informative. I like his presentation. I like how he keeps it super clean, super straightforward. Not like like so eloquent, whereas I'm over here like pause ... question mark. Nah, he's like super clean, and I really appreciate it. Super informative, and I really appreciate a lot of his content, as well as a bunch of other Black creators that I've been kind of learning with and learning through and learning from. So okay, so this is actually a question that I don't know why I didn't ask this earlier, but it's like, you know, and it's like adding like a nuance, it's adding a perspective to my understanding. And this is what I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. K-Sun4K is like I believe this is his opinion, and I think it's a really good one in my opinion, in my interaction, in my reaction to it. I really like it. It's not like I hope it doesn't upset anyone, honestly, but like I think it's just really interesting, and it just makes me think about holidays. differently, because like I've already thought about holidays differently, but like this just kind of like hits it on the top for me, like just bam, like that is it. And I apply this similar thought process to some of the other holidays. But anyways, okay, I'm gonna zip my trap and I'm gonna play this for y'all. And I may or may not pause in between, just so that I can disrupt, so that there's no weird copyright. I don't know. I'm just gonna like try to disrupt it so that I can hear from you guys what you guys think as well. Okay, so why America celebrates Martin Luther King, but it doesn't celebrate, we don't have a Malcolm X holiday. So here we go.
Why do we have a Martin Luther King Jr. Day but not a Malcolm X Day? Is it because Malcolm X was pro-Palestine and Martin Luther King Jr. was pro-Israel?
Is that too loud?
We have a Martin Luther King Jr. Day because the U.S. government was able to sanitize him. After he was killed by the U.S. government, they watered down his message and turned him into a safe symbol. They focused on the I Have a Dream speech while ignoring that he called capitalism exploitative, he opposed the Vietnam War, and he said America owed black people reparations. So, therefore, he became easy to celebrate without changing the system. There is no federal holiday for Malcolm X because Malcolm X never played that game. He openly called out white supremacy, U.S. imperialism, capitalism, and colonialism. He spoke about self-defense, black independence, and international human rights. You can't turn that into a feel-good holiday without exposing the lies that this country is built on. And it is built on oppression. Also, holidays aren't decided by who matter more. They're decided by power because white conservatives and liberals alike were way more comfortable honoring a version of MLK they could rewrite. Malcolm X, on the other hand, he refused to be rewritten. So the real answer is simple if you ask me. MLK Day exists because America could pretend it agreed with him when America actually killed him. Malcolm X doesn't have a day because he told the truth too directly. And lastly, Malcolm X would not align with the American empire that killed him and then tried to turn him into a cute holiday. The same system he said was built on oppression can't suddenly act like that it honors him without changing anything he opposed. The American empire does this way too often. It takes black radicals, black revolutionaries, drain their message, and then celebrate them once they're no longer a threat to the system. Malcolm X wasn't about symbolic politics. He was about self-determination. He was about anti-imperialism, anti-capitalism, and calling power exactly what it is. A holiday without justice is just performative, and Malcolm X hated performative politics.
Pause. Actually, was that the end of the video? Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. Phew, I was actually really worried that it was not gonna be loud enough, so I bumped it down. Oops. Okay. It's a bit radical view. Is it? Is it? Oh. Oof. Okay, I'm asking because I literally don't know. Can you please explain to me what makes something radical? It And I guess this is his opinion. I can see his perspective though, if you think about it though. And the same with some of the other cultural figures like Rosa Parks. Like for example, some people were trying to like discredit Rosa Parks saying, oh, she actually had a car. Like Rosa Parks had a car. She didn't need to take the bus, but it was all like this like act to like protest, you know, like whatever. But even if you do have a car, are you not allowed to take the bus? And if you want to take the bus, why can't you take the bus? So that actually makes a lot of sense though, to me, why maybe Martin Luther King has a day to celebrate. Another thing I'm thinking now that I think about it is maybe like Malcolm X wasn't like presentable enough to like whatever that even means, right? Like whatever that even means. But let me check, because this is a learning point. Like this is not like confronting. I'm not saying you're wrong. Why is it not radical? No, I'm saying like I don't understand what makes something super radical. Like actually, if it's like obviously radical, I can tell it's obviously radical. But for this one, I feel like it's like kind of, but like it's a perspective that I can see, and like I don't completely disagree with. But let me just see what you guys have to say. Okay. Ooh, lots of stuff. Cool. Even if it was deliberate, then I feel like she still made her point. Like, right? Sorry, but right? Like, mission accomplished. I made my point though. If there were no problems, it would have been really mattered. Yeah. Scylla says, I like a quote that I'm not sure is by Malcolm, but it's basically like, is a sheep fighting back against a wolf considered violence? Oh, have I heard this quote before? Sounds familiar, but I would have to like see. And you know how like people make up quotes, like they'll say like someone said this but they never did kind of thing, right? Like so you have to be careful with that. But yeah, okay, interesting, food for thought. King says, I understand Malcolm X was quite direct, and Malcolm X was direct but more broader and less like, yeah, I to my understanding, Malcolm X was like really specific about these specific things need to happen. I will not compromise. We will not, like, this needs to happen. We need like unity, solidarity within the Black community and abroad and all of that. And whereas like Malcolm X was more like broader. Is that my understanding, based on your comment, King, as well as my understanding of like the two figureheads and civil rights people. Let me continue. That man asserts that Malcolm X or Martin Luther King was assassinated by the government. Do you think it's okay. That is really interesting. That is really interesting. Let me pause on that, Panda, really quick, because that's a good question. The whole point was that Rosa Parks was part of a movement strategy. Car or not, okay. Was part of a movement strategy. Okay. Yeah. To expose kind of this current system and the segregation at the time, right? Where the Jim Crow laws were laws, but does that mean they're like that's another thing that we're facing right now. Laws versus like quote unquote moral and ethical, right? Because laws doesn't mean moral and ethics. It's supposed to be, but it's not. It's actually two separate, right? It could be really, really tricky at this point. But it's, again, relevant to what's happening now. Okay, let's continue. Malcolm X being assassinated by the US government has been a theory for a long time. Okay. Even if she had a car, that doesn't erase the fact that it still happened and it still would have happened. Yeah. Cool. Yes, and yes. As for Martin Luther King being assassinated, while not necessarily government, he was monitored by the FBI. Yes, and other Black figures was killed, like Fred Hampton, who was killed by the government. So I'm gonna be so for real with you guys. My ignorance is showing, and I'm gonna be so for real. I don't remember. I need a refresher. I don't remember the situation of how Martin Luther King Jr. died. I can look it up really quick. My guess, my faded recollection, was it he was giving a speech and mid-speech was shot? Is that... Let me figure this out. I should have come prepared, but I am not. Oh yeah, so he was in a balcony in Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, and the alleged assassin, James Earl Ray, was later arrested and sentenced to a lot of time in prison for his crime. But was that person related? Was James Earl Ray affiliated with the government, or was he just like this, like, you know, like a hater, you know, like... The main contrast between MLK and Malcolm X that gets overemphasized is willingness to bear arms. Yeah, there's that as well. Okay, you know what's really interesting? To my knowledge, and again, correct me if I get the facts wrong. So I mentioned to you guys a while back that I recently watched the Malcolm X film starring Denzel Washington. The film was 1992. So it was a while back, and I just recently, watched it. And there's some details I noticed that I just realized, actually. So I'll put a pin on that really quick. In the situation how Malcolm got assassinated, he actually didn't have like the security check people for weapons, which is really ironic in my opinion. Is that still a truth, or was that like just something they added? Because another thing that I learned recently was that there was a woman who is Japanese American. Her name is Yuri. Hold on. Malcolm. Hold on, give me a second. Malcolm X. Kochiyama. Yuri Kochiyama. I recently learned this. I had no I did not know that Yuri Kochiyama was a friend and someone who learned from Malcolm X at that time. And she was there when he was assassinated. Like apparently she was like cradling his head like as they were trying to like resuscitate him before the ambulance came or something, right? I did not know that. And in the movie Malcolm X, starring Denzel Washington, during the assassination scene, I don't remember if there was an Asian or Japanese woman who was like there, like in the cast. There was a woman, like I remember, like trying to, help Malcolm, and then there was people and they were calling, and it was really hectic and people were escaping and in the scene in the movie. So I have to figure that out. Okay, I'm gonna catch up. A chat. He died getting shot at his hotel. Okay, so that's different. Mid-speech was Malcolm. Got it. Okay, got it. So he was mid-speech. That was Malcolm. And Martin Luther King was in his hotel and he just was assassinated. Okay. Let's see what you guys have to say. There's a legal term, mala inse, I hope I pronounced that correctly, which means that a crime is inherently immoral regardless of what the law says. Okay. And a counter term to that is malam prohibitum. This sounds very Latin. It almost sounds like a spell, which is something that's wrong because the law says so. That is key. Let me sit with that really quick. Mala inse, which means that a crime is inherently immoral. Doesn't matter if it's law or not. Okay? And then malam prohibitum, which is something that is wrong because of the law, according to the laws, at the time. Those might be of interest to you. Yes. Scylla says, Malcolm X got a lot of criticism, but does he need to be perfect? It's a case of not... Alright, I'm gonna sit with that one really quick. That's another thing is usually, so like I'm used to like your perspectives are usually pretty on point, so I'm sitting with what you're saying. Yeah. Trina says sorry. There were many cases of operations hired by the FBI or other agencies to infiltrate black movements. Yes, having weapons, especially in those times, was normal, right? No, he doesn't need to be perfect to have just and accurate points. There are many cases of other minorities being in the civil rights movement since the beginning. Absolutely. It's Latin. Okay, good. I am not losing my mind. Kochiyama holding Malcolm after the assassination was actually photographed. After the assassination? Yeah, so... Okay, so I've caught up. I'm processing everything. And here's another thing I want to just point out. I'm not trying to pin, please understand me. I'm not trying to pin Malcolm X with Martin Luther. Okay, like both are excellent civil rights leaders in their own right, okay, flawed and all. They were striving for something in two different methods and styles and approaches. I can respect that. There was a time where I favored Malcolm X. I was like, or no, there was a time there was a time I favored Martin Luther King, because he was more like, it seemed like he was more pacifist and he wanted more integration, to my understanding. And then there was another time I started like shifting and favored Malcolm X's like method or approach, or what, it just depends on my state of mind. So then there was a period of time where I was like, I don't even know anymore. But then more recently, I think I'm also kind of like revisiting these civil rights movements and figures and leaders, and I'm like, they both had a really good point. And like Malcolm X's perspective still has some, like, what's the word, resonance, like some truth to it. Yeah, the movie was really, really inspiring, eye-opening. These movements have never been monolithic. Yeah, no, okay, so you're so right, Antley. These are not like, they're not isolated, but the way it's been portrayed for me personally, it's just surprising. And it shouldn't be. No, you're absolutely right. Like, you guys are so right. Like, it's not, I should not have to be like, wait, what? There was Asians taking part? No. Like, and that this is where like the learning is happening, right? And during the war, and then like there was like the Japanese internment camps in the United States, right? There was like a Latin American, I believe, who voluntarily went to these internment camps in solidarity with the Japanese citizens, the Japanese Americans who were, put in these camps during the war. So that's solidarity, and that was really, really cool and when I learned about that, I was like, oh, right, like, okay, it's just not shown a lot. I feel like, this is just my opinion, I feel like media really likes to separate it, like it's their problem, it's these people's, it's this group of people's problem, and it's like not our problem, when it's actually not the case. But that's just like my experience. Maybe you guys have better networks, better social media, better understanding of these movements, better than I did. But I really just, this was really eye-opening for me. Again, learning and just trying to sit with like, and also like trying to participate within that solidarity myself personally. Yeah. Does that mean like there's no bad eggs? No. Does that mean there's no bad actors? No. Like, everyone has, every group, every culture, every ethnic, every country has its own criminals in its respective like culture and country. But I think showing solidarity where it matters is crucial. And yeah, it was never just, it's not monolithic for sure. He investigated everyone. More talking in general because of that video. Personally, I think judging which one was right is kind of missing the forest and the trees. Yeah, no, we're not doing the right thing. I was just, I just wanted to like clarify, like, I don't want it to seem like I'm putting these two great leaders, like, why does one have a holiday and why one doesn't? But I think that question that was posed was something that got me thinking, and, again, sharing. Note, movies are not, yes, this is also true. Yes, I also take everything with a grain of salt, that not all movies and historicals or autobiographies or biographies are like absolutely like perfect and accurate to the T. And it is very, very true that there's a lot of interpretations and everything. There's another thing that, so going back to Malcolm X, the film, in the 1992 film starring Denzel Washington, there was one thing that I was really excited for, that moment, but it never happened in the movie. And it was because we know that Malcolm X's last name was Small, but then he changed it to X, which I thought was so cool, right? It's like claiming his identity, claiming his name again, like claiming back, right? Because I think my understanding was he said that this last name is like, is from like the slave owner, right? Like passing it down, and he doesn't want that, right? So he rejects that, and I thought that was so cool. And I don't know. That I was like really hoping that would be in the movie, but it wasn't. So what happened was it just went from, you know, when he was really young, they'd call him Red, you know, little Red, you know, come on Red, let's go Red, come on Malcolm. And then like as you know, he progresses into his life, into his adult life, and you know he becomes Malcolm, and then there's this one scene where a person just calls him, you know, Malcolm X, just like that. Like there was just no transition. I was like, wait, that's it? That's how that? I was like, I really wanted that, but it's okay. It's, you know, I don't have to get what I want, but it's just, I was just really looking forward to that moment. Like, how is he gonna like claim back that? But it wasn't shown in that in the movie, in the film, so it's okay. I will sulk. The internment camps are criminally swept under the rug. For sure. There's like an underlying concern that I want to talk about with internment camps, but like I'm not sure if I should say it. I really don't know if I'm safe to say it. But we'll see. Something I'll marinate on and bring up, you know, not yet. Most people get put off put by Malcolm being more militant. Yeah. But when you have a risk of being killed constantly, I'm really appreciative, Trena, of that comment. Like, thank you that's actually very sympathetic. Yeah, for sure, right? And then like the right to bear arms, right? The country's what is it, Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all that. Crush the rights of one group. That is the conversation that is attempting to be had in current times. So it was happening then and it's happening now, and like, you know, what is stopping them though? What is truly stopping them at this point? Especially with like surveillance. So it's okay, this is my theory. Right now, everything is still like really up in the air, scrambling, like everything. But they're like collecting a lot of data. So like when they want to make their move, they'll have all the data on you. So there's like a certain earbuds, earphones. I don't have those, by the way, so I don't use earbuds or earphones. They're gonna have like cameras on them. So like they're gonna be in your ears, but like the question was, like, why do earbuds need to have eyes? Like, why does it need to see around you? Surveillance? Right, but for what? Like what? Like you're gonna lose it? You're gonna lose your earbud, and then you're gonna want to like look for it, so you're gonna like turn on the camera on your app, like, where is my earbud? What is around my earbud? Oh, it's under my bed because it looks like this is under my bed. It's like, is that gonna help? Like, no. So, and then like a lot of content creators are saying like, I might be flagged for this. I'm probably on a list somewhere. I'm probably going to be targeted. Maybe they're following me and watching me right now, you know, because of what I'm saying. That's speaking out against this, whatever you want to call it, right? XYZ regime, the fascist XYZ, whatever. I don't know. I'm not good with political terms, but they're calling it what it is. And yeah. It should never be forgotten that there was a period of time in the United States that it's only 100 years ago. Outright illegal to talk about. Yeah. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Actually, hold on. I don't remember this. Do I remember this? Oh, interesting. Okay. I vaguely remember something similar. Like, you couldn't talk bad about like your, well, at the time, obviously, slave owner. But okay, yeah. Got to separate the right to bear arms a little bit. Right. Yeah. I think that's fair. Trina, that's a really fair point. That's a nuance that I don't think should be overlooked, honestly. Yeah. There's a great skit by Dropout about the NRA and right to bear arms when it comes to African American. Okay. Dropout. Okay. Lots of really good topics and resources. Thank you for sharing. I love that. Really cool that that's available. Most of the Second Amendment freedoms are only reduced. Oh gosh, that's convenient for who, right? Like, who is that convenient for? There were laws. Oh, this sounds really familiar. Espionage and Sedition Acts. Ooh, okay, lots of historical events. These sound really familiar. Red Scare sounds really familiar, but brain in history is not very good, but very, very interesting. Let me just look up. Oh man, this is like filling in a lot of gaps that I have in my knowledge, actually, which is good. It's good. So the Red Scare is a period of intense fear and moral panic regarding the perceived threat of communism and leftist ideology. Oh no. Often leading to political persecution and social unrest. 2 major Red Scares. Okay, it was after World War I, and then the second one was during the Cold War. I am probably gonna ask a dumb question, so before I ask a dumb question, let me just look it up really quick. Let me just... Oh, I see. Got it. Okay, that makes sense now. That makes sense. Okay, my dumb question. Now I know, so I don't have to ask it, but the dumb question was, why is it called the Red Scare? And then I'm like, oh, left wing, it's red, and okay, sorry, that's me. I told you we're all learning. I told you. They're ultimately deemed unconstitutional, but don't forget that it did happen in the first place, and for several years, the government can and will ignore That's why there's no excuse not to fight for the rights of everyone. Yeah. In this case, it's kind of like the rich versus the peasants and working class at this point. It was caused by the Russian Revolution and the rise of communism. Oh. Yo. Atlee. Education in America did not fail you. It's either it failed me or I'm failing myself. No, but I don't like, some of these topics were brought up very briefly, but I think there was a lot of there was so much negative, I don't know what I want to call it. I want to call it propaganda, but there was just so much negativity because there are enemies, right? Internationally, there are enemies, therefore they're bad. We don't like the bad guy, so it's super black and white. So I never really understood why they were bad. I just knew they're bad, right? So you just kind of okay. I mean, maybe they are bad, yeah, but it's just... But that doesn't make us better just because they're bad, because then what if we're worse, right? There's bad, and then there's really bad, and then there's just unforgivably bad, and then there's just y'all we're not gonna, we can't, that's so horrific that there's no words to it. Jeffrey Epstein files. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein's in the files. Yeah, that's kind of on that spectrum of the that's so bad though. That's pretty bad. And it's a global thing. It's all okay. Anyways. All right, I can feel it. I can maybe I'm feeling it. I got a lot of information download, which is really cool. But how is everyone doing? We still good? We're not feeling any tension. We're not, I mean it's okay if you're upset. It's that's fine. It's just, right? This is upsetting and not happy, but I hope we can still feel all right, I'm not emotional. I'm not ready to throw things or be violent. But with knowledge, it's uncomfortable with these facts, and it's yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, I just wanted to check in because that's super important. Let me just... Okay. Do we need a quick break? Should we take a quick a minute? Can we get a minute? I'm gonna get some more tea. Everyone, just relax. sit with it. Y'all are schooling me, and we're gonna continue with the presentation. Obviously, there's a few other points that, you know, topics. Another Thursday for you? Okay. Cool, you're good. Awesome, awesome. Okay, you love history. You lucked out with a good teacher. You're so blessed. Yeah, please stay hydrated. Please make some delicious tea, grab a snack, stretch, you know, don't be doing that shrimping. I do be some shrimping sometimes too, but we gotta unshrimp. Let's take a quick. Am I gassed out? No, I just want to get some tea. I just want to refill. I'm not gassed yet. We're pacing ourselves. This is a marathon, not a sprint. I'm good. I'm gonna grab some more tea for myself. Okay, so let's reunite in about a minute. Let's grab some tea, grab some snacks, what we need, restroom breaks, right? Stretch, unclench the jaw, roll those shoulders, stretch a little, you know, all that good stuff. Cool. Let me just let us do that. Wah! I'll be back in just a moment. Yeah. Bye-bye. Okay, we're back. I was able to get some more tea, and I found some little cracker. It's really delicious. I just gotta nom 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 really quick. Keep my blood sugar from tanking. Yeah, so I hope you guys are also taking care of yourself, stretching a little bit, because it can be kind of hard to just like sit in one place the whole time. So it's good to just do a little bit of stretching and making sure you're nimble. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, it's a really simple be right back. It's nothing fancy, but it gets the job done, and I'm happy with my little chibi, Poette chibis. So so actually that didn't go as I expected. It went kind of better. My thinking was, I would talk about this video that I shared, and then lead into and maybe talk. I didn't actually have a lot to talk about regarding Martin Luther King Jr., but yeah, so that was a bit of a gamble. I don't know. Like I said, I am a little behind on a lot of the work in preparation for this. And then again, I went to the library earlier, got a bookmark, found more people to possibly talk about and look into. And I wanted to mention that like a while ago, I had like an event that I went to, and they were talking about Black queer, individuals that were really pushing for like LGBTQ rights and healthcare, for LGBTQ individuals. I'm trying to find that piece of paper. I had their names on it, and I didn't get a chance to like make a slideshow or presentation to even talk about them, so I feel bad. So maybe on the last day, on the after party, right? Because this is a celebration. So what do we do at the end of a celebration? Celebrate some more with an after party. No, I don't know. And I was going to possibly talk more about them, at least showcase, because these are names that I've never heard about. And as a person who's like, identifies as queer, I think it's important to like at least know, like, hey, these are kind of like your predecessors, right? Like this is part of your history and community as a person who's in LGBTQ and whatnot. So just good to know, right? Let me see. Oh my god. Oh, here it is. I found it. I knew I had it here. It's just underneath a pile of other stuff. So yeah, there's a bunch of folks. There's more, but I can only get like, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 queer Black individuals from history. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, did you guys have time to grab a snack, bio break, water, hydrate, stretch, anything like that? So Scylla says that could also be on Pride Month if you aren't already. Yeah, I also need to like figure out Pride Month and all these other like holidays to try to really be on top of it, because I feel like I'm just like trying to catch up. Lay says, does anyone have anyone childhood memories of learning about Martin Luther King Day? That's a good question, actually. Okay. Let's circle back on that. Allie says, that's a new minted queer person. That makes you happy. Yay! Yeah, oh my gosh, maybe during Pride Month, as Scylla has suggested, I could talk about my coming out story, right? Like, I guess that is kind of significant, right? Because that's acknowledgement, that's self-awareness, that's self-acceptance, and also like sharing that within your immediate community, whether that's like your family members, your friends, your peers, colleagues, whatever, right? That's kind of important, because that's you. That's your life. That's how you want to be perceived. That's how you want to honor yourself, your identity, your development as an individual, and all of that. So highly recommend reading about Bayard Rustin. Ooh, Black activist who advocated for queer individual rights. I need this right now. Give me a second. I'm looking this up right now. Bayard Rustin. Oh, what? He looks super familiar. Maybe, wait, was he someone that was... He was! Oh my god, yes! He's on my list! Bayard Rustin is on my list though. I was like, why does he look so familiar? I was like, yes, he was on my list of people. Okay, okay, this sounds so weird. I have a list of black queer people. No, what it was I played bingo. It was Black History Month, like queer Black History Month bingo, where we got, and I kind of wanted to do something similar with you guys, but I just didn't have the time and preparation for it. It would have been so cool if what would happen is I would have a Twitter post or social media post, and you guys, like, if you guys had like a bingo, so like it was like a trust system, right? So we'd all like generate some random like bingo card. Either if there's just like a few of us and I could just put each person's like bingo card on the screen, right? Like I would put like one for like, oh, this person, and I don't know, I could probably fit maybe like 10 or 12 if I just like scoot myself over. I could probably fit like a bunch of little like bingo cards like all here in a little board, or something. Or we just do the trust, like the honor system where you generate your own bingo card or something through a bingo generator that I create through a link or something. I don't know. And then we just play bingo and learn about these, you know, Black queer individuals for Black History Month or something. I don't know. Fun idea. I just didn't have the execution for it. I know, bummer. So I have to adapt. I can't beat myself up for it, even though I am a perfectionist, and I would have been so much fun if we could have done that, but nah, time constraints, illness, a meteor hitting my face telling me no. Universe said no. That's okay. So yeah, Bayard Rustin was someone that I briefly learned about. It was just like one sentence, like one little snapshot of him, and like, yeah, on my little bingo, he's right there. That's so exciting. Sorry, I'm like, wow, I'm not the only one who thinks this is cool. Nerding out. So let's see, you'd be curious to hear. Okay, yeah, for sure. The coming out story as like a person of color who's queer or identifies on, you know, some identity on the LGBTQ spectrum, right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no beating myself up. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to have grace with it. Be like, it's okay, you know, it's okay. Just, you had the right intention, just not the right execution. The universe just wasn't ready for it, you know? Like, so many times I tried to organize like a community hangout session, and it just, no, like something would happen. I don't know, rain, a freaking snowstorm, a blizzard, whatever, an earthquake, I don't know, some natural disaster. If it's not an external natural disaster, I become the natural disaster by just imploding on myself. Like, I get sick or something. But anyways, okay, so very cool. So where were we? Okay, so we were talking about Malcolm X. Let's see, the presentation. I'm sorry, Malcolm. Give me a second. Alright, so what else did I have? So yeah, like, this was his family. You know, just wanted to kind of present Malcolm, or why did I say Malcolm? Sorry, Martin Luther King. I did it again. This is nothing new. This is just me derping. Martin Luther King Jr. as like a family person, like a human, right? A father, a husband, a human, a man, a father. Yeah, actually, he also, sorry, he had he was no, I don't want to be canceled. Give me a second. I'm so bad with religious stuff. Was he a minister? Okay, sorry, he was a minister. I was like, is a pastor the same as a minister? Is the same as a priest? Question mark. Sorry, I never went to church. I tried to. That's so boring. Sorry. Can't believe I'm saying this. I'm probably gonna get burned. Poette's a witch. Burn them. I'm so canceled. Yeah, sorry, my brain Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., MLK. Yeah, Martin, Malcolm. Yeah, okay. A Baptist minister. Yeah, he's also a Baptist minister, right? Oh, cool. Cool. All right, cool. Yeah. Okay, so when I was a teenager, I was actually kind of interested in Wiccan, but then once I realized, like, oh wait, you could like curse and hex people and it can get into dark magic, I was like, oh, I don't know, nah, I'm good. It becomes this weird situation where it's like, it's a gateway to black magic. I'm like, oh, I'm good, I'll pass. You know, I wasn't really interested in gateways of anything at all. Gateway to prostituting, gateway to trafficking, gateway to racketeering, gateway to gambling? Absolutely not. I can't believe I said all that without messing up. I'll pass. Gateway to drugs? No, thank you. I'll pass. Oh my god. That is like... that is not... So I stop it. I don't even entertain that. Which, you know, makes it so that I lose out on like opportunities for experiences, FOMO, but I'm good. Is it a fault? Maybe. The fear and anxiety is so real though. Church is insanely boring. Oh no. Cursing stuff. She's a magnet for weird people. Oh no. Oh. Interesting. I don't know if I would even want to like curse anybody. Sorry, so loud. Are you laughing about my little inner monologue going on? Yeah, welcome to my brain sometimes. I don't know, that's kind of my sense of humor sometimes. I'm slowly getting over it. Okay, I'm getting over it. I'm over it. I'm so over it. Okay. Oh, that's all my present. Oh, yeah, that's all I had. That's all I had. So, bummer. Yeah, I wanted to have like Rosa Parks. I wanted to show you guys Harriet Tubman. I dropped the ball, but I'm improvising. That title is kind of funny. Albius. It's really cool. That name is kind of cool though. Albius. Apparently that was a name given to him by his parents, either his mom or dad. And then Edmund was the name, you know, of his I don't know what you want to call him, slave driver, slave owner. Yeah. So, all right, we've survived. We're good. They keep pushing it back. Just gonna see, what else do I have? Yeah, so I guess the next bit is just gonna be I wanted to like a segment where we talk about like media regarding, you know, content related to African Americans and actors. And yeah, this gets into some, if I'm not careful, it can get into like, you know, territory that's also very relevant, but I'm gonna just let it be. No, it didn't. I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, I was wondering what you meant. It says they keep pushing it back, and then I don't see anything before that, Aunt Lee. I just see the return of Albius, the innovator, the child genius. But yeah, there has been some issues with YouTube. Not really sure what happened. We could circle back on a few topics that didn't get to be elaborated too much, which was regarding, well, I mean, we kind of, you know, talked about it, but Yuri Kochiyama, as a Japanese civil rights activist who was a friend of Malcolm X during the 1960s, and yeah. You're still assuming it's scuffed with comments. Okay. Harriet Tubman being on the... Oh! Wait, I did not know that. But they keep... Oh, that's what you mean. They keep pushing it back because it's not happening yet. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. Yar. Yo. Let me... Okay, yeah. This guy. Oh god, I'm looking at photos of Andrew Jackson. Wait. I'm googling him. Hold on. $20 bill. $20 bill of Harriet. Come on, let's get it. Well, like in this, yeah, even the paintings are not flattering him. I'm sorry. Like there's like, it looks like it's a painting, right? It's still not flattering. I'm so sorry. Oh, that would be so cool though. That would be really cool. Oh man, straight up. But I mean, that would be so cool, but I have to be like so for real. In this timeline, in this current situation, it's like, it makes sense that they're pushing it back because there's no progress when it's like what it is right now. No, thank you, Celeste. Thank you. That was what I wanted to say. I just couldn't say it because I don't know, my own filter was like, don't say it, Poe, don't say it, just don't do it, don't. And she said, don't do it. See, I have self-control. I have self-restraint. No. Not at all. Yeah. It's a bloody mess. Let's just be so for real. I'm gonna also switch a little bit. I really like this background, so bam! We're coming back to the book. Yeah, it's unfortunate. The messed up part is that it was largely pushed back initially because of COVID, but now it's political, right? Yeah. Oh my god, 6 years ago, 2020. Well, so I don't understand why they couldn't have done it during the pandemic or during like COVID, like money? Question marks. I have questions. I don't understand. I just don't understand. Yeah, right. At this point, it is a who knows. It really is, though. Oof. Big oof. Yeah. Oh, well, you know, it's just... I really don't like... I'm trying to, like, figure out, like, okay, how can I make this empowering? But I'm like, nah, it's not. It's just not, though. It's just so not, because it's just not in our... It's not within our control, jurisdiction, anything, really. I'm reading that the effort for Tubman on the 20... What? 2016? So they were already planning it for a while. So they were redesigning it, and it was to be finalized on December 1st, no 31st of 2024, which is 2 years ago. Again, like during the pandemic. It would make her the first woman and first Black American to appear on the U.S. paper currency. Come on, let's get it. It's not that hard. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it's difficult. Oh my goodness. Sad. Sad life. Huh, well, I mean, it would be pretty cool, right? The representation, that's gotta be really cool. I was going through some quarters one day, and I don't know why, I just didn't know, I just forgot, I don't know. Anna May Wong is on it's featured in on a quarter. And I thought it was so cool. And it just so happened that all of the Anime Wong quarters that I had were shiny. So I had some shiny Anime Wong quarters and I'm like, yes, that's so cool. You know, like when people used to collect quarters, there was like a thing. Yeah, that kind of like renewed that for me. I was like, yeah, let's go. So I have some shiny Anime Wong quarters just sitting there looking pretty and validating a lot of her struggles. Yeah, there's a few others as well. There's a few other stuff. There's like the quarters are interesting. Oh, at this point, I don't even know. But yeah, we covered kind of the classics that I did want to go over. You know, we went over Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. We briefly touched on Rosa Parks. We're going over the Harriet Tubman, who was a boss, hands down. Coin collecting, yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing. It's like, you know, it's a hobby. You know, something to look at. Oh. Okay. Oh, I might be like the standard filter probably took it out, maybe. Or I don't know actually. But yeah, no, very real topics. Very, very real topics. Jesse Jackson, you did. Yes, I do remember this. But that comment got sent to YouTube Abyss. Yeah, I wonder what, that was so weird. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't remember putting a filter on that, so I don't know what's going on there. Jesse Jackson, let's go. They were an American civil rights activist, politician, and ordained Baptist minister. Ooh, he was a protege of Martin Luther King, so he was probably worked with, studied under, learned from Martin Luther King Jr., which is pretty cool, and James Bevel. James Bevel sounds like a really, really common, like a really familiar name. James Luther Bevel. I guess, yeah, this sounds very familiar. The Southern Christian Leadership Confederacy. He was a member of that. Rip. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, James Bevel initiated the 1967 March on the United Nations as part of the anti-war movement. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, war is really tragic. You know, okay, I think we've had this conversation before, and it was always kind of like, we said like, if any leader, global leader wants to like start or initiate or have, you know, war, they should be on the front line. That's how it used to be, was it not? More or less? Like, wasn't like George Washington, he was on his little horse with his little, not cane, but his little sword. And then, you know, he was out there fighting for his life, literally. I mean, at this point, we're all sophisticated enough. I feel like all the world leaders who want to go to war with different nations, they should just have either a rap battle, a dance off, like an endurance, like a fitness test, like whichever like president can like out dance, out rap, I don't know, out bench the other world leader. Should just be like, okay, yeah, you know, I'll let you have that win. Yeah, that okay. Commanded on the field, but not front line. Yeah, but they're not on the front line. It's just, for me, it's really, because I don't have much of like a military, and all I'm seeing is just the devastation of the results of war, right? But like everyone who's like for or against war, they're not always in the front line, or maybe their family is military, and maybe in that case they have some like, I don't know, you want to like leverage. It's crazy to think that the world could end in a day if just a few people pressed the wrong buttons. Like buttons were pressed and things were launched, and suddenly Fallout doesn't seem like a franchise, but more of like a reality. Oh boy. Part of the logistics every country goes through before a war is sufficiently motivating the populace to be willing to fight. Yeah. Urging them to, you know, through narrative, propaganda, just a lot. Oh, for sure, for sure. Well, we did cover a lot. I was hoping to like cram more information, more media into this, you know, into today's discussion and topic, but there's still a lot here. There's still a lot to cover with what we have talked about. Doing the leaders' roles, yeah. So, did y'all learn anything? I mean, there was a moment where I was schooled, definitely. Today's class, yes, I was definitely schooled, like hands down. I learned or revisited some concepts. I don't know if it's gonna stick in my brain. But yeah, it was not that bad, you know. We're talking about important topics that should be mentioned. And obviously, if it's not obvious, but you know, I'm not Black, so I cannot speak for the Black community, and I never will ever speak on behalf of the Black community. That is not what I'm trying to do, ever. Knowledge, yapping, yes, learning. I really do appreciate everyone's, you know, willingness to learn, be open, and maybe doing your own investigation in topics as well, right? It was a good time. Remembrance and education. Yeah, absolutely. Honoring the Black innovators that have really helped create, if not establish, our world, like our livelihood through innovations and inventions, and actively still trying to, you know, push for equality. And it sounds really weird. It's like equality for what? Like what, you know? And I guess I'm tiptoeing around the word. Maybe a better word I could use to make me feel less guilty is Eurocentrism, Eurocentric ideology, Eurocentric standards. It's, how do I want to say it? It's deeply embedded. Yeah, it's deeply embedded. There was a really, again, I'm really hesitant to like share or link or even shout out to certain Black content creators that I am so grateful for. So I don't know how to go about crediting them for opening this door, because obviously this is not me doing this on my own. A lot of this information, like with Albius and, you know, all of this other information, I'm being informed by the community that is sharing their perspectives so that I can kind of formulate and consider different perspectives as well. I did reach out to them. I did message them on social, and I haven't heard back from them. It has been about a week, but I don't blame them, because they might even think I'm a bot. Like, let's be so for real. Yeah, they might think I'm a bot, and they have no obligation. They have zero obligation to answer me. I'm not like demanding it. I'm not trying to be like entitled to their time, but it's more like it would be nice to have their consent, just because like it's kind of like being subscribed to something. I don't know. Like, I don't want them to. Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. It's good for clarifications. Totally valid. Don't worry, you're good. Yeah, so they're probably like, what is this anime like this Japanese character cartoon messaging me? Totally not my vibe, not my style, not my thing. So like I get it, right? Like I am the same way as well. So in certain cases, in situations, right? So I respect that. Not every person wants to be affiliated with like an anime character, VTubing, VTubers. I get it. Like, and I'm not like a person who's like showing my face. I'm not like a content creator that they can like see. So they're like, what is this, right? Whereas they are. So there's a difference. Something like this. You want to make sure every box is checked. Yeah. So that's me. So does that mean that I can't share on live stream? That's fine. Like maybe I can, I have been sharing in the garden, sharing the links. And that's another thing I learned recently. So when you guys share any link, a little bit of IT that I learned literally recently from an account that I think it's AI generated, honestly. It's like Peter Griffin and it sounds like him, but it's not him. And he's like giving you IT like tips and tricks and info. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So basically on YouTube links, even I think Twitter posts, Instagram, TikTok, mostly almost all social media, there's like a link, right, that you can copy. And there's a tracker linked to it, actually. I'm not like super knowledgeable about it, but this is like what I know. So basically anything after the question mark is just your specific unique identifier. That is like your code that identifies you. Yeah, I think. And so basically if it's like an Instagram link, you can just delete anything after the question mark and you're just sending them the link as is without your identifier. So basically if you're like super tech savvy for whatever reason, if someone knows how to like access this information, I don't even know who would, maybe like Instagram accesses or has access to this information, but basically if you click on that link, it will say like who sent the link or who generated that link and then who clicked on that link or which account clicked that link. But yeah, so I don't know, right? Like they're getting so crazy about it. Oh boy. But so maybe it's too late, but I did go back into some of the links that I sent, and then I went back and edited the message and deleted the little question mark because it's like unnecessary. Like there's nothing to track. Like anyway, so like basically they get the information of like, oh, if you have an Instagram account, what account opened this link, where like maybe an IP address, I don't know, maybe like your general location. Yeah, just stay safe, right? Just stay safe. So yeah. And another thing is like, I know a lot of people just react to videos all the time, probably with or without consent with the individuals, and maybe I could take that route. I'm not like super confident. Again, the perfectionism, I don't even know if this is like developing into like an OCD at this point. It's like I gotta do it this way. It needs to be done this way. So I don't know. It's very scary for sure. Let's see what other little bits. Yeah, just a lot of information. At some point, I think I would like to like share some of the content that I've shared in the past with the community. The problem is it's the same thing again, is I'd have to reach out to the page or the creator and just ask for permission and consent, just for whatever reason. It's like, it's not even like monetizing. I'm not monetized yet, so that's not the issue. But like, if I'm still planning everything out, but with that, but it would just feel nice. It would just be nice to know that like I'm not stepping on anyone's toes, especially in like the content creation as a whole. You just don't know. Maybe someone just really doesn't care about anime, thinks it's lame, doesn't want to be associated with it, and sees that someone used their content and they're like, oh, this person's lame. Like, blah. You never know who you're dealing with. Hello, social anxiety in the digital age. So. But yeah. Yeah, so reflection time, guys. This is the quiz, pop quiz. What did you learn? Did you learn anything? I know I learned a little bit regarding the, what was it called? Red Scare. That's a term I haven't heard. I feel like I have probably heard the Red Scare before, but it's just been so long. So that was really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, right. Edmund Albius. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. I don't know. Did anyone do the extra, quote unquote, this wasn't really stated as extra credit, but did anyone look into Thomas Thistlewood? Thistlewood. Oh, pain. I wouldn't even like fault you if you didn't. It was also part of Black History Month. Yeah, yeah. There have been multiple Red Scares. Okay. You could shout out the names of content creators. Okay, if you're okay with that. No bullying. I swear to God, this is not supposed to be. My biggest fear is like people will like do terrible things and just like swarm them or harass them or I don't know, right? And I wouldn't want to be responsible for that, but their content is so informative. Hamsters. Oh man, if only it was that harmless. Let me give you a list, and if anyone wants to check them out, I'm risking it, but I feel like they deserve to be mentioned. So there's a person who I personally really like, 5HAHEM. I believe they're LGBTQ. I believe he is a licensed, wait, I don't want to get his credentials wrong. He's a therapist, licensed clinical social worker. Yes, I love him. He and his partner, adorbs, adorable. Must protect at all times. There was a few more. Did I not actually? I mentioned a few. Xavier Buck is really informative. He has a very interesting speaking style, but he's very informative. There's Olivia Unplugged. She does a little bit of like mental health stuff, which is so cool. Oh no. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. No, you don't have to torture yourself, please. I'm so sorry. There was this one content creator, so adorable. He creates content with his pupper, his little dog. It's so cute. And it's like there's this one video that I wanted to share because it's super wholesome, and he's like giving a pep talk to his dog, and then at the end they fist bump. He asked for like a fist bump, a high five, and then the dog, I believe his dog's name is, wait, what is his pupper's name? So adorable. I think his name, the dog's name is Duke. Yeah, Duke is so handsome and adorable, well groomed, super cute, and then he dresses him up and it's so cute. And so like there's this one video where he's like giving him like a positive like pep talk, like what is it? It was like, you're a handsome boy, and you need to be a good boy, okay? Because those other dogs out there, nah, you can't be like them. And then he's like fixing Duke's collar. Oh, so sweet. I love wholesome content like that. Yeah, and really awesome. And then obviously I linked Case in 4K. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. I think it's based off of the camera. I think it's a camera brand, I'm not sure. But I linked Kaysen 4K in the video description. Yeah. So shout out to him for, he was the person who talked about like, oh, why we don't have MLK, or no, why we have MLK but not Malcolm X Day. And I honestly think that's a really cool perspective, personally. But I guess you can disagree. It's totally cool to disagree. It's just different. I just think the perspective is different. And I can see that perspective. Whether it's the truth or not is okay. It doesn't have to be the truth. It's just a perspective. Because, like, yeah, why don't we have a Malcolm X Day? I think he was pretty cool. What's up? Oh wait, are you guys all doing the research now in real time? Oh my god. Yeah, no, so this is part of Black History Month. Like, knowledge is uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable if you guys are, yeah, learning about that. But like, yeah. Oh, I also have links to books that I want to like check out as well. I wonder if I can just really quick, give me a second. I'm gonna try something really quick. You're sleepy. Do a quiz? Oh no. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, I don't think that's gonna work. Okay. Maybe not. Unless. So there's like this book. It's on the Chicago It's like on the Chicago Press, the website for Chicago Press, the University of Chicago Press. And so I was looking up books and you know, things to like share, and there's several books. Again, I do wish it was like more visual. I'd have to set that up. But basically there's this article from January 30th of 2026, so you know, just this year, and it's to honor Black History Month, and they have a Black History Month reading list, and some of the books like stood out to me. I was like, ooh, interesting. So I kept like looking into some of the books, and oh my gosh, Emmett Till, I forgot to mention Emmett Till. Oh my gosh, my heart goes out to this story. Very, very important. Like it all circles back. Like, words have consequences, and like, you guys know Emmett Till. Oh, there's a, yeah, this is one of the books that I was looking at. Let me see if I can pull up a visual for you guys. Give me 1 minute. Y'all have heard about Emmett Till, yeah? Or no? Well, I mean, I'm sure maybe the people who have like you know, learned about it in the United States education system may have, most likely have. That's also a really big that is also a really big figure in American history. Yeah, it's really unsettling. It's really sad. He was really young, and like the woman who, you know, accused him and then literally got him killed, because it's just like an excuse to, yeah, really sad. Really, really sad. Let me see if I can pull up this visual. Okay, there's also this one as well. Yeah, lots and lots of, okay, I'm gonna attempt something. Will it work? We're about to find out. Cause yeah, I did want like a portion of today's stream to like cover media, so books, movies. I remember a while back I had brought up Woman King by Viola Davis. Did anyone ever watch that movie? Or it was a movie, I believe. Series? No, movie. I really liked it. I'm not super big on movies, so the stuff that I do watch, I tend to really latch onto. All right. So yeah, Woman King by Viola Davis. I really enjoyed it. it is, again, as we know, like based on true, like it's like based on a true situation, based on true story, but of course it's gonna have its embellishments, if you will. It's gonna have its embellishments. So I'm not sure if y'all are still with me or not, or if YouTube decided to just be like, no more of this, and I'll be like, oh, sad. So I'm gonna get this set up so that I can possibly share this with you. You guys still here? Cool. Okay, let me, or maybe I lost you guys after after Thistlewood came in. Okay, we're gonna try this. I'm gonna do some adjusting. Herp. Okay, this one should be good. I'm just adjusting something really quick. Oh. And then hopefully you guys will be able to see my screen. It's gonna be like some books recommended for Black History Month. And we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I think it worked. Yay! Cool. So, this was an article. Oh, yeah. And the article is very recent. And we have recommendations for books. Will I read them? If I can find them. Will I finish them? I'll be lucky if I can get through the prologue without breaking down. But so these are some books. Born a Crime, Stories from South African Childhood. Trevor Noah. Oh, I recognize this person actually. He's like I want to say like spokesperson, but like no, he's in the entertainment industry. He speaks. He's on the television. He's on the television. Talk show host. Thank you. Yes, talk show host. He has own. I've only like listened to clips of some of his stuff. Yeah, I have listened to some bits and pieces, but I haven't just like committed and, you know, listened to everything. So, but I feel like he's pretty cool. I just don't know. I haven't like deep dived, you know, the same way that I would deep dive and investigate like, oh, you know, what's his story? What's his background? And, you know, I haven't done the autobiography or like biography or deep dive on his background and anything yet, or like where he went to school, or, you know, like, you know, things like that, or trying to understand his story. There was another person, Don Lemon. I haven't, again, looked too much into some of his stuff, but I did listen to some of his like social media posts and gotten some of his opinion and like how he's like reporting on local events and you know, trying to navigate the current landscape of things. This one is Overground Railroad, The Green Book and the Roots of Black Travel in America. Okay. Reframing Blackness. What's Black about? History of art. Okay, so anyone interested in like, oh, this was a book that I actually wanted to like try to check out or like read or like at least leaf through. Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I really low-key want to like read this, but I know myself right now it's not gonna happen, but it's like on my wish and hope list that I can someday just check this book out at the library or buy a copy or something. I want to check this out. This one's interesting. 3 or More is a Riot. Notes on How We Got Here, 2012 to 2025. Capturing and defining cultural movements of our time and their lasting impacts. Looks like it's a essay collection. collection of essays just compiled into a book. Without Fear, Black Women and the Making of Human Rights. Very interesting. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, all of these are Black authors and Black voices, and these are books by Black authors. So, very cool. Ooh, okay. It's Never Too Late, a memoir. Memoirs are fun. Hood feminism. Notes from the women that a movement forgot. Ooh. Bringing overlooked feminist issues to the forefront. Okay, really quick question. Actually, feminism is a really interesting thing that I haven't fully tapped into, but like there's bits and pieces that like, oh yeah, it makes sense, and it affects obviously female-bodied people and anyone who would benefit from like these rights. And great with these topics. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah. Oof. Actually, I'm not gonna touch that topic just now. Oh. Okay, sounds good. No worries, Anlie. I think we're good. Please rest well. 8, 9, 10. No, it's like it's getting to that time. It's more important that, you know, you're taking care of yourself, and sleep hygiene is super important. I do appreciate each and every one of y'all for being present and taking the time to, you know, spend with us here. If you want, the VOD is always available, so don't worry. Yeah. So rest well. It's good that you're sleeping. Sleep is good. Don't force yourself awake. Just sleep. Head, pillow, eyes closed, snooze. So good. Yeah. I've definitely been in the situation where I felt peer pressured, or I really wanted to just be present, fear of missing out, and you know, that affects our health. So let us all agree to practice good sleep hygiene. Hi, night night. Thank you for being here. I'm just going over some books. The Zorg. Interesting. The Tale of Greed and Murder that inspired, I was trying to do an accent there, inspired the abolition of slavery. Oh, Siddharth? Oh, I almost read that as Siddhartha. Siddharth Kara. Okay, interesting. Oh, okay. This seems pretty interesting. Black AF History. Black in Fashion. 100 Years of Style, Influence, and Culture. You're into that. Medgar and Marley? Medgar Evers and the Love Story That Awakened America. Huh. Never. These are lesser known but essential civil rights icons. Yeah. Black and Blues, How a Color Tells the Story of My People. African History of Africa, From the Dawn of Humanity to Independence. Last Scene. Oh, Enduring Search by Formerly Enslaved People to Find Their Lost Families. The Black Utopians, Searching for Paradise in the Promised Land in America. Oof. Oh, this book! Yes, let's go! I need to get a copy of this so I can at least like figure out. Eep. Ooh, yeah, James Baldwin. Let's go. The Fire Time. Nobody Knows My Name. No Name in the Street. The Devil Finds Work. Introduction by Eddie S. Glad Jr. Letters from Birmingham Jail. Actually, I have heard a lot about this. Hi, welcome. Shoot, I can't see your icon. I can't tell if someone's trolling me. But yeah, Letters from Birmingham. These were, yeah, Dr. King's letters when he was in jail. Notes of a Native Son, The Warmth of Other Suns. Night Flyer. Interesting. We're just going over like a list of like books that, you know, never too late to read, pick up. If you can check it out at the bookstore, or no, library, pick it up at the bookstore. Barracoon, The Story of the Last Black Cargo. Somewhere Toward Freedom, Sherman's March, and the story of America's largest emancipation. stamped from the beginning. Oof. The definitive history of racist ideas in America. Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's totally cool. I was on Annie Live, yes, the app, the mobile streaming app that is no longer in existence, along with many other things that just are not operating right now. But yeah, cool. Good to see you. Hi, welcome in. We're celebrating Black History Month. We had a pretty insightful, pretty chill discussion, and now we're just going over some books and resources to continue the education and the learning and the expanding of the brain cells and being open to different perspectives and narratives. And I don't know, maybe it's good if you guys, pick up like an actual book. I know a lot of people like e-readers or like electronic, or maybe they have something like Kindle, but there's something just really satisfying about having a book in front of you. For me personally, I have a lot of satisfaction, but I know we can't all afford it, or it's not within our means to have access to these resources and books and material. So if you can get it online, that's also very possible. All That She Carried, The Journey of Ashley's Sack, A Black Family Keepsake. So these are some of the books that were recommended. This was another book. This was, the Chicago Press. Let me just fix this. Wah. Wait, can I do? Oh yeah, I can do that. Haha. You've always been more into physical copies, but yes, the ebooks are very convenient. For me, I don't know, I think it's like a tactile thing. I just really like having a book. But yeah, the convenience for sure. Like absolutely. If I can just read it on my phone, why not? So I'm gonna kindly ask you to stay on topic, please. We're talking about books, and particularly African American books and authors and innovators, inventors, and trying to learn something new. Yeah, so please stay on topic. Arigatou gozaimasu. No, let me see. I wonder if I can make this a little... Oh. Let's see, I'm gonna try to edit this just a smidgen. Ta-da! Yeah, so there we go. Can't get the whole full description, but maybe. Alright, maybe. Okay, there. Just so that it's at least exists. So, Afro Decolonial Manifesto. That's kind of interesting. It offers a compelling call to arms while challenging the pervasive grip of colonialism on the Black psyche. Ooh. This manifesto charts a course toward a future defined by autonomy, dignity, and liberation. Radical liberation at that. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so this one also on the Chicago Press, Defiant Acts, a novel. James Stewart III sounds really familiar. I think I was looking into him as an author a while ago, and I think this was one of the books that I wanted to check out, but I have not yet because of my tendency to never finish books, and also having started many other books first, and I need to get through them before moving on to new books. But I can still look. I can still admire and read about a book. Okay, that just sounds really weird in my head. Okay, I wish I didn't say that. Drawing on the author's experience, this debut novel follows an interracial blended family living in Chicago in the 1900s. Oh, interesting. Defiant Acts follows the Stewarts, through a year in which Jim fights to earn promotion, the adolescent boys struggle to find themselves, one of the younger children becomes gravely ill, and the parents try to stay afloat in a shaky economy. Within the walls of Stewart's home, race doesn't factor, but when the family interacts with the outside world, it is inescapable, a bias for identity and inclusion, as well as a spur for exclusion and abuse. Oof. This sounds like this could be relatable. Lots of probably has some insight into like family life, and you know, dealing with like the difference between family life and like, you know, the mask we wear when we go to work. So interesting, very, very interesting. Okay, so we're gonna go down the list. Yeah, this was another book that I was looking at as well. The Lost Black Scholar, Resurrecting Allison Davis in American Social Thought by David A. Varel. So Allison Davis, Black scholar, social science pioneer, known for his groundbreaking investigations into inequality, the Jim Crow America, oof, and the cultural biases of intelligence testing. He was one of America's first Black anthropologists and first tenured African-American professor. Oh, Lettuce Gremlin, welcome. Hi. Oh, you're so on time, on point. I'm just going over books by Black authors and, you know, writers and voices from African descent, African Americans, yeah, all that good stuff. So yeah, let's see. This was also something that I was interested in. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a minute. Really? Oh my god. Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Panda. Have a good rest of your night. And oh my gosh, I can't believe you deep dived that. Oof. But it is part of Black History Month. It's uncomfortable, but we learned. Thank you for being here, Panda. Appreciate you the most. Appreciate everyone, all the scholars. But you've been very helpful today, and thank you very much. Please rest well. Take care. Yeah. I'm very thankful for the mods who help, you know, reinforce the tone and the momentum and the energy that I try to bring to everyone. So I'm always very grateful for any and all of my mods, as well as the folks in the chat who support and validate, you know, the experience of being, I don't know, a VTuber, a presenter. But I don't know, I guess that doesn't need to be said, but it is just something to acknowledge, and I don't want that to go unrecognized. It's a bit meta, I suppose, but oh well. Yeah, so this looks like it's 304 pages. Oh, I should have looked at the other pages of the other books, but oh yeah, and so one more thing. This was the article, again, Chicago Press, recently posted. It's the monthly reading list, and so this is where I got some of the books that I shared or mentioned earlier. The Afro-Decolonial Manifesto. This was kind of interesting. The Underworld Work. The cover art is actually very, very interesting, but I was more interested in like Defiant Acts by James Stewart III. We Belong Here looks really interesting as well. Gentrification, right? Eurocentric space making and, you know, Black sense of place, like placement. Beyond the Watershed, Black Architect. Yeah, so this one was just a quick overview of some books. Oh, Poems by Kimberly Reyes. I do like poems. And I believe these are some other books that are listed. Let's see. Black Designers in Chicago, right? Culture, Community in the 20th Century. Edmonia Lewis, Set in Stone. We Belong Here, that was the other book. Frederick Douglass is a good read if you don't have time for a full book. Oh, he has pamphlets. Oh, okay. Oh, yes. I do believe so. Let me take a gander. Ah! Oh shit, I hope that... Ah! I want to do that later. I don't know what I'm doing. Chattamete. I gotta check something really quick. Oh. I think I'm good. I think. I don't know. We'll see. But never actually read. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Underworld work, Black Atlantic religion, making in Jim Crow New Orleans. Ugh. Yeah, lots. These are like more books, and I'm just like, I'm processing like, oh man, like obviously this is very overwhelming, but also like really exciting, and I'm just like, you know, processing all of these titles and potential books. And hold on, I'm gonna fix this as well. Oh my god, the scuff is so real though. The scuff won't leave. Okay, so more books, more titles to possibly look into. Yeah, I know, I totally get it. Like, so many books, so little time. How? Freeman's Challenge. Oof, the murder that shook America's original prison for profit. Oh my god. The Black Tax, 150 years of theft, exploitation, and disposition in America. Oof. Oh my goodness. It's impossible to overstate the significance of the Black Tax. It is quite clearly one of the most important books of our time, bringing out into the open the shocking story of how the tax system has functioned in the past and continues today to be a key generator of racial injustice and inequality. By George Lipsitz. I don't know if that's the name of the last name. I can't pronounce that name. Author of The Possessive Investment in Whiteness. Okay. The Black Ceiling. Sound Experiments. The Music of the AACM. Oh, Black Scare. Oh, that's so interesting. We brought up Red Scare earlier. Theorizing capitalistic racism in the United States. In the shadow of slavery, African Americans in New York City, 1626 to 1863. My neck is okay. Yeah. Sorry. No, but really, I'm feeling tension in my neck right now, and I don't know why. So might be a time for me to you know, stretch and call it good. But there's books forever, books on end. Banking on Slavery, financing Southern expansion in the antebellum United States, that is the South. Black in White Space, the enduring impact of color in everyday life. Black Paper, Writing in a Dark Time. Nighttime, soon. Yeah, definitely soon. This has been quite an endeavor for me, but it's a good endeavor. I'm very glad I was able to share this with everyone. 1,000 Steps to Parliament. Constructing electable women in Mongolia. What? How is this? I have questions. What? Hold on. Huh? What? This isn't Black History Month? Interesting. I'm gonna just, okay. Let's do it. Let's have Black women of color in power that can serve people and not the interests of themselves or quote unquote elites or private business people. Blah. The Blues Dream of Billy Boy Arnold. Okay. Lots of books. We're almost done. Hold on. No Longer Outsiders. Black and Latino Interest Group Advocacy on Capitol Hill. African American Political Thought. A Collected History. Remembering Emmett Till. Yeah. When I saw this book, I was like, oh my god, Emmett Till. Sun Ra's Chicago. Afrofuturism and the City. The Lost. Oh yeah. Black Scholar. Allison Davis. American Social Thought. Yeah, that was something I was interested in reading. Crusade for Justice, the autobiography of Ida B. Wells. Oh, it's the second edition. Okay. Oof. Murder in New Orleans. The creation of the Jim Crow policing. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that. that is something. Okay, Defiant Acts, a novel by James Stewart III. Black women's intellectual traditions, speaking their mind. That sounds interesting. Raider, the Raymond Chester story. Oh, it's about American football. For sports people who wanna, or people who like sports or just like to read as well. Beyond the Watershed. Hybrid collection that explores the dual nature of water as both a destructive and healing force, mirroring the experiences of Black women and girls. Yeah. Angela Davis, Seize the Time. Yeah, there's a lot of familiar names. Like, I'm pretty sure I definitely remember James Stewart III, like reading something about his work somewhere a long time ago, but I just, so that was familiar. Angela Davis sounds really familiar. Haven't looked too much into that yet. There's just a lot. John Martin, another familiar name. Stay Hungry. Sonia Clark, again, another really familiar name. We Are Each Other. I feel like I might have seen this book somewhere before. Hip Hop Archives, The Politics and Poetics of Knowledge Production. Bloodletting, Kimberly Reyes. Yeet. Afrofuturism poetry that envisions Black people finding new worlds of freedom. Black Architect. Ooh, okay. Oh, it's a personal narrative and interviews. It examines the challenges that Black architects face in the United States and their vision for the future. Lots of like architecture. Yeah, we're almost at the end. Oh, again, Zora Neale Hurston. I don't know why. You're so right. Like some of these names really familiar. Oh yeah, I was looking at this earlier. The Afro Decolonial Manifesto, Afropia, Post-Western and Post-Racist Utopia. Haven't heard of that one at all. Freedom Seekers Escaping from Slavery in Restoration London. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, and I guess that's it. So those are a bunch of titles, a bunch of books. I try to go slowly in case anything caught your eye. Y'all can like, take a look at that, figure something out. There's so many books. How? Oh, I don't think this was mentioned, but again, it's Chicago Press, and it's Banking on Slavery, Financing Southern Expansion in the Antebellum United States. Actually, I did mention this really briefly, and it looks like there's like a audio version of it on SoundCloud. I don't know. It looks like it's 4 minutes, so it's like a sample. Maybe it's reading like a passage from this book. Interesting. Oh yeah, and then Remembering Emmett Till. If you guys know the history of that story, of that case, I think it's very heartbreaking, honestly. But that is the story. That these are the truths. These are the experiences and the history that we face ongoingly. That gets echoed in the present in some ways, and in other ways differently. So yeah, any questions? I think I covered a lot of things today. Just going with the flow, vibing, and trying to, And the tax system one, yeah. That one, I think that one, that one was really interesting. You guys are talking about is it the Banking on Slavery? Oh, no worries. Oh, you don't have to apologize. It's totally okay. I hate to refer you to like the VOD, but the VOD is so there. And I was actually low-key hoping that you would show up because I'm like, oh, we're gonna cover so much. But I hope you do enjoy the VOD if you want to check it out for sure. I think it was this one. Was this the tax one, or there was another one I think that had tax? Let me see. Oh, was it the Black Tax? 150 Years of Theft, Exploitation, and Disposition in America by Andrew W. Carl, spelled K-A-H-W... Wait, H-R-L? Hold on, let me pull it back up really quick. Yeah, this one? For sure, for sure. Oh no, now you have like depth. Oh no, I don't want to make you watch VODs if you don't have to. Just, oh, watch it in 2x speed. I actually sound better. I had to go through some of my VODs to timestamp stuff, and I just watched everything in two times speed and like skipped and stuff. I sound like a chipmunk. So yeah, there's Black Tax, 150 Years of Theft, Exploitation, and Disposition in America. And then there was this one, the Banking on Slavery, Financing the Southern Expansion in the Antebellum United States. Yeah, let me know how it goes, if it's entertaining or not. Yeah. These are both really interesting. Because yeah, if you think about it, there's always like a financial component to all of this, right? It has to be, like, someone is definitely benefiting and profiting from the exploitation. And I think taking it from like a financial standpoint is interesting, but then it's like a matter of like, okay, well, you know, what do we do now? Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, it's called The Black Tax by Andrew W. K-A-H-R-L. I'm just gonna type it just as a reference. Yeah, really interesting. But yeah, I guess that technically concludes. I will look into Frederick Douglass's pamphlets and see some of his writing and just kind of like get a glimpse of some of his work. Unless it's like super, I don't know, like old, like archaic English, and it's like hard. It's like you know how like when you read Shakespeare, it's like different. Oh man, that's always gets me. But if it's something that I can interpret within like one glance, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I think I get what he's talking about. Then yeah, for sure. I should probably be more patient with myself when I'm trying to learn something new. Yeah, really awesome, guys. We had a really awesome discussion. Well, more like a presentation, really. So thank you for that. I had to revisit the Red Scare and, you know, lots of history here. Web Dibius are good for that and are very clear and concise. Yeah, I really like clear and concise, for sure. Especially since I struggle. It takes me a long time to be really concise with my own thoughts and writing, so I think reading something that's clear and, you know, something informative and interesting, it helps. Only 200 years old? Only 200 years old? Shoot. How old is America? My goodness. Yeah. Well, everything turned out really well today. Nothing crazy. You know, I kept it pretty clean. Little sanitized, but I kept it nice and sanitized. And hopefully it was a good experience for you guys. Hopefully it wasn't as horrific and horrible and terrible as it could have been. So but yeah, I really appreciate everyone for being here and for tuning in and supporting and listening, if anything, and holding space for everyone, and especially myself, because this is not something I'm used to, but I do want to kind of expand my horizons. And this, I do believe these topics that I'm talking about go hand in hand in some cases with, you know, wellness and mental health, right? If that makes sense, right? Like, if the world is, you know, being cooked, that can't be good for anyone's mental health. You can avoid it. You can do your best to say it's not real, not true, but, you know, deep down, there's a part of you that just knows, and you gotta listen to that voice, and you gotta be courageous. Be courageous like Poe. And do your part. And I'm trying to do my part. Yay, thank you. Ah, it was really good. Yeah, I'm really happy. Yeah, so please take care, everyone. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day and have a good rest of your night. And yeah, and then I think I'll be back, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow, and we're gonna talk about we're gonna be talking about a book that I actually have with me. It's The Inner Workout by sorry, my brain. Taylor Elise Morrison. And I did look up her name, and I believe it is pronounced Elise, just spelled different than what I'm used to. So, but yes, Taylor Elise Morrison. I'll probably do kind of like a introduction to her as an author, what she does, and then we maybe can play some kind of like roulette, like reading roulette, where we just choose random passages and just read it and try to make sense of that. Yeah, for sure. Did you were you able to get a copy of it, actually? Were you able to get a copy of that book, Gremlin? Either like picked it up at the library or something or anything like that? Also, I turned off the BGM, so no background music, in case you guys are wondering why is it so quiet. Yeah, but definitely homework, assignments, priority, and then everything else is just extra. I should probably also do a little bit of studying. As you guys know, I'm studying Japanese, taking a class on it, just for enrichment, for cultural awareness of the language and culture that's different than my own. Okay. All right, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'd be really cool. And then maybe we can go over it tomorrow. I'm calling it a book club, even though I haven't like read it to the point where I can talk about it in a book club. I've just leafed through it and like looked at parts that interest me. I don't know if that's really considered reading. That's more like just scanning and browsing, but I do really love the contents of this book. I think there's got to be some gems in here. You're taking Japanese too, as well? Let's go. Nihongo. More like Japanese language as well. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. Curiosity. Anyone else taking language courses? For sure. That's so exciting. Fun. Yeah, I want to do some more language, like Japanese class, not class, but like streams where I like present what I've learned from the semester. So I'm trying to also, you as well. Great. Yeah, so I'm also trying to like set that up. So that'll be a little bit later. So that'll be fun, right? So I'll be like introducing the 3 writing systems, right? Like hiragana, katakana, kanji, and then, the particles and sentence structure and yeah, everything I learned so far, and maybe reinforcing some of my learning through presentation and sharing. Oh, you're trying a few on Duolingo and Mongo languages. I have heard of Mongo. It's an app as well. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, for sure. That's really fun. Yeah, it really like for me when I learn a language, it like a part of my brain is like I can feel it, and like there is something in my brain. I'm feeling new neural pathways forming just from trying to learn like a new grammatical sentence structure or vocabulary, and then even trying to like adapt my accent, like make it sound more, I mean, I'll probably always sound like a non-native, of course, but like at least doing my best to understand and mimic the tones and sounds of a language. That's always fun. But yeah, it's just kind of something nice to do and study and have as a analog task. My galaxy brain power. Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, if anyone's like already bilingual or has multiple languages already, knows multiple languages and uses it, that's pretty fun. We're gonna all be polyglots by the end of this year. Oh, 30 plus kanji so far. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool. Very good. Also, yeah, it's good to see you again. Please take care. Yeah, that's really awesome that you know 30 kanji. That's really good. I think I'm like slowly learning kanji. I was really surprised that I learned. Let me just double check. It's the kanji for age. The age, sai, like yeah. That was really interesting that I learned that just on a whim. I just like wrote it like 6 times and then suddenly I kind of vaguely remember the brushstrokes, the order for it. So really fun. Oh, that's so cool. Japanese will be your 3rd language. Fun. I love that. I love that. Something just to tie it back to Black History Month. I had talked about like, you know how like in Africa and other countries as well, like Philippines and China and you know like different parts of Asia, there's different dialects and accents, and especially in Africa, there's also like so much richness in their language and culture, in different regions and parts and whatnot. It would just be really cool if like they taught like African languages as part of like had that available in schools as like an option. Like, you know, you can always learn English, right? And you can always sometimes learn maybe Tagalog, maybe Korean language if you're, you know, trying to learn Korean. Some schools they offer Japanese and maybe Mandarin, because Mandarin is like the main language of you know China, so it's gonna be good for like business or just like enrichment. So it'd be really cool. Oh, African country language. Oh, sorry. Wow, did I just do that? I totally just did that. African languages. Sorry, I don't know one specific one. It's estimated to be between 1,250 and over 3,000 languages within Africa, the country. Yes. I don't know what I said. I am cancelled again. Oh my god, no, what have I done? African countries. So yeah. Oh my god. I think my brain just is like melting on itself. I'm melting. Okay. I'm thinking of something specific, but it's not, my brain is stopping. I think I need nutrients. I think I'm hungry. Oh, Africa has the most languages. It's a continent. It is a continent. Yes, it's a continent. Did I say it was a country? I'm so sorry. Did I say it was a country? I totally said it was a country, didn't I? Oh my god. You're so right. It's a continent. You're right. I can't. I did the thing. I did a mistake. That was a mistake. Oh, so maybe this. Oh, actually, no. I should probably be completely transparent. I do this thing. I have done this thing, and I'm doing it now. Where my brain does this weird thing where one time I switched people's usernames. I also did it earlier with I mistook Malcolm for MLK, but I meant MLK. I meant Martin, but I said Malcolm, and I was like, wait, no, and I caught myself there. I think I meant continent, but I said country because I was thinking of like various countries, but then in my brain, I'm very visual and weird, and it messes with me. It really does. It's not an excuse. It's more of just like, this is how my brain is operating. So like in my brain, I see the continent of Africa, but then like in my brain, I see all the little countries. So then my brain is like seeing the countries, and so I mean country, but then also simultaneously I'm seeing Africa, so it's like the continent. So then my brain's like, country, because you know, I'm seeing all the little countries in the continent in Africa. So that was my brain, and then the words just did it. There was just like a misalignment there. My bad. It gets pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I don't know if I'm having like, I genuinely, hands down, have a real anxiety and fear though. No, really, no. I've looked this up. I do genuinely, sincerely have a fear of not dementia, but like cognitive decline. Straight up. I don't know if it's just because I'm streaming and I'm just like I'm absent-minded and I'm not catching my words and I'm just like, you know, whatevering it, and that's not good either. But that is something that I should be, and like, you know, we meme about it in the community. I'm a potato after all, but no, it is actually a very it is a genuine, and I haven't actually expressed this to the other scholars yet, so something worth noting, because I think it's all haha he-he's, but it is actually genuinely a concern. Like cognitive decline is something I don't want to think about, but I have research like, oh, what are signs to look for in terms of cognitive decline and, you know, speech and whatnot, and brain function and intellect, and yeah, no, very, very, but thank you for catching that. I'm so sorry about that. I have done this. This is not going to be the last time I make a mistake verbally. I do often do this. Yeah, but that's how my brain works. In case you're wondering why I said that, it's not. I know that Africa is a continent, but in my brain, the visual, I'm seeing the continent with the countries. I mean countries, but I say countries when I mean continent, but I'm seeing the countries. Okay, so now you know. Now you know how my brain works. Okay, terrible. I don't know if there's anything that can fix me, except your patience and grace. It is, though, for sure. Yeah, I do notice that when I'm hungry and tired, but actually it is also how my brain works. This is how I visualize information. I have to like see it visually and then words. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah, so languages, let's just quickly tie up that loose end. Yeah, lots of different languages, Afro-Asiatic languages. Yeah, so I think the topic was going back, it would be really nice if there was some languages from Africa or wherever, whichever specific country or popular language. Recently, just really quick, I believe, I don't remember if it was a specific, I have to double check, I have to fact check, but there was someone who, like, I don't know if the word's renounced, but they made it so that French was no longer their official language, and I think they were in the process of choosing a different language to make it their official language, whichever country that was. I don't remember. That was just there's my memory. It's jumbled. It's like, I know it's a thing, it's there, but it's not very specific, so it's not very helpful. But maybe I can bring it up next time. Oof. Yeah, brain is on the decline. Need sugar, need nutrients, need rest. I am technically, believe it or not, I'm like running on 4 hours of sleep. So the fact that I could actually be coherent until this very end is, I'm gonna just give myself a pat on the back for being coherent for as long as I have been. So thank you so much, everyone, for your patience, and I welcome the corrections. It's totally valid, totally fair. That's very helpful for me to catch myself. So yeah, again, hopefully this was helpful. Probably gonna grab some food, take care of myself. Yeah, running on like 4. I tried to take a nap before. That did not go well. That was not a very restful nap, but it was still rest. But anyways, yeah, so let's take care of ourselves. Sleep, food, nutrients, fresh air, good company, good conversations, good content, right? A book, a research article, what have you, a game to unwind if you must. So yeah, thank you for being here, everyone, and it's been fun. I will be back tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be well rested. Yeah, sleep is important. It is very important. Yes, I don't like when I get less than 6 hours of sleep. It's not healthy, but I think it really couldn't be helped. Lots of stressors, still dealing with some insomnia, so this is kind of like my personal update and check-in. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with insomnia. Maybe yes, maybe not. Maybe you're like, nah, I don't have sleep problems. That's a you thing. And in which case, that is a me thing. But yeah, sleep is very important. And Y'all know that. So take care of yourselves, take care of your body, take care of your mind. And anything that needs to be addressed can be addressed in the right time, in the right space, in the right medium. So, yeah, I guess that's it for now. I will see y'all next time. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Happy Black History Month. Continue to stay curious, open-minded, learning, receiving, and all that good stuff. Yeah, hi, じゃあまたね。バイバーイ。See you.